Please note the views and opinions expressed by the hosts on this show are not necessarily the views held by the station.
You're listening to Critical Mass Radio. Now it's our turn.
Damn straight they're shared, but that's okay. Still need a disclaimer. Hello everybody. Welcome to Syncretism, aka Outside the Box, aka Kate's Bitch and Ranting Fest night thing, whatever. Anyway, yes, I'm your hostess, Kate of Gaia. Anyway, so I hope everyone's had an awesome day. Yeah, I tell you, it's got this new mouse and it's got these buttons on the side that I'm just gonna have to yank out of here because, yeah, I finally got a mouse that works. It's pretty cool, actually. Yeah, that's exciting stuff for me. But anyway, I just wanna. Not sure if Santo is tuned in. Was just tagging him there, and let's all flow some light and pure love energy. And the spirit's willing, but the flesh is weak. He's got a bit of a flu going on, so this will be the final bits of the overdoing it, jet lag, catching up, and finally getting out of the system. So that's all good. So sit back, Santo, and enjoy. This bud's for you. Yeah, so we're really hot on the trail, by the way. I should mention that. Had an awesome day. Got to hang out with Vicky and do a couple of things. I like I said, I finally, and it's amazing. This mouse, it's wireless and it's got this really cool tiny little USB thing, and $16. Well, you know me. Yeah. So anyway, I'll deal with that in a little bit. What was I going to say there? Yeah, we're really hot on the trail, and first got there talking with Vicky. We're traveling, and we generally talk about things. Oh, thanks, Santo. Yeah, it's neat. It's already my birthday in Australia. Isn't that cool? Actually, that really messes me up. Like this whole 24-hour crossover thing, and yeah. So our days are much longer than 24 hours, and that's kind of the reality I get with it. But thanks, Santo. Where are we? Yeah, so we're having a little chat, and a couple of things that came up in the conversation. And one of the things that and I talked about quite a bit about this last night. I'm going to come from a slightly different perspective. And you see that when we're looking at things that are put before us in this illusion, right? They're things that are already created. Okay, they're past. And especially when you're dealing with music media, right? That's all they do is they're putting up, potential scenes just to see who's going to buy into it, see who's going to, focus on it. Yeah, they'll pull their little stunts and whatever, get everyone gawking at the TV, going, oh me, oh my, and it just takes one of us to go, yeah, whatever. The elites are running scared. The powerless elites are running scared. Did I say powerless? Yeah, they're absolutely powerless. Their power is an illusion. They can't touch you. Only the illusion and holding that belief that you're manifesting. That's the line. That's where you draw your line. And when you're looking at something, in an attempt to catch up, here's the perspective shift for you. If you're looking at things to see what's going on, well, you're kind of putting things in the future tense, which is a creation. Careful, don't do that. Unless it's yours. I guess that's not going to work, but anyway. That's yours. And what I mean by that is, say you're watching, it doesn't matter if it's online or, if you're still in that paradigm of a gawk box and, tuning in meat stick media like CNN, by all means, here's a viewpoint to start looking at it from instead of, staring at it from the I'm going to create this perspective. You've heard me say it, and you'll hear it a lot of times, especially when you're talking, Hermeticism and Kabbalion and the rest of it. There's one thing they left out. They that I can see anyway. It just kind of resonated, and I thought, well, that totally makes sense, because for those with eyes to see and ears to hear. Let me add one more. Let me complete the Trinity for you. Right? That's I don't know if you remember the three monkeys. See no evil, hear no evil, speak no evil. Okay, well, those with eyes to see, ears to hear, and a voice to ask. So there's your Trinity. And I thought, and that's when this little, vagabond epiphany struck me. I thought, isn't that interesting? If we look at things that are already, created for us to manifest, depending on the direction they're steering our thoughts. And that's all Meatstick Media is. It's about steering you. It's about steering your ship, your mind. And, they'll throw something up. You think you're catching up on something that's current and staying on top of the game and all the rest of it. But what you're actually doing is, even when you're awake and your intent is held tight, there's still a trickle of power that goes to it, with the concept that it's, a potential future thing that could happen. Right? Because that's all TV and the rest of the the fear porn media is all about. It's about creating a potential, and all they need the masses to do is to flow that energy towards that potential. That's where I put the brakes on. It's, no, big mirror there, and I put it up against all of it. That's the thing about being a god. You start taking that seriously, it's pretty cool shit when you start getting a handle on it, and it just gets bigger and bigger for you. So here's another way to look at it. Excuse me. How about you look at it after you ask the question? The question is, what do I need to see and hear? And watch. And I was practicing that on the way home. I thought, yeah, okay, because instead of waiting for something to come to me and hoping I'll see it, well, I thought, those with eyes to see and ears to hear, well, I've got a voice to ask, so I'm going to ask. Universe, what do I need to see to keep the yellow brick road going? Not 10 seconds there. This truck pulls up alongside, and it's got Stanislavic or something on the side of it. Stanislav. Remember St. Stanislav, the guy that raised the dead into court? That's where I followed the trail for the Clausula Rebus Sextantibus, right? The escape clause. And you see, that's the thing. This is a universal game, and it has to be divinely balanced. So the answers must be given. They must be given. You just got to know what to ask. And you've heard it. If these people talk about court, always ask questions. Ask questions. Well, yeah, absolutely, but you're asking the wrong bozos. They got you thinking that they're, some sort of power or something. Maybe it's the flashy robes and the matching handbags. I have no idea. Could be the shiny red shoes there, Benedict. I give him credit. He kind of got into the accessorizing thing pretty good, so I'm okay with that. Well done, well done. Just stop raping little boys, okay? Anyway, so let's put it from that perspective. Maybe share that concept for shits and giggles. So instead of looking to see and just waiting, right? Put your question out to you. And I refer to myself as universe. I refer to you as universe. We're all universe, right? Creation. It's the concept, the intent behind the concept. The all spark, whatever you want to call it, God, whatever, I don't care. Doesn't matter. Is that absolute potential and creation aspect that we all have that we never tap into. So let's do a little bit of reality hacking, shall we? Start steering our own ships by putting the question out and then using the eyes to see and the ears to hear. Yeah, I got to say, I've been able to spot a lot of stuff just, in those fleeting download moments, where I can, catch stuff. I mean, I got to tell you, the only thing the only thing I give credit to in any of this is the fact that I spent so long writing songs, and for me it was always about catching whispers on the wind. But my mind was open to it, and that's when the stuff would just, literally download. And as quick as I could write, it was writing out. It was like almost like auto writing. And I know there's a lot of people out there that have experienced that auto writing, where you just sit down and you just write, or paint, or whatever the case may be. Those are pure, utterly pure downloads. And I think just with the number of years I was doing it, and the thousands of songs I've written, was really good practice, and really not being aware of it, kind of going, oh, that's cool, I can do that, right? And leaving it at that. It's like, for me, writing a song is like riding a bike, right? Once you learn how to do it, and you just kind of keep doing it. So that's why, for me, to try to get people into that headspace where you're not really needing to worry about constantly meditating, because this is meditation on the fly, and it's where you are. I've heard, Bill Donahue said it, I've said it, many others have said it. This inkling, or this download, it comes in the twinkle of an eye, like a lightning bolt. And a lightning flash doesn't require a whole lot of time, but it's being open to it, so that energy can ground out through you, allowing yourself to be open to it, instead of, I gotta make sure I get dog food, I gotta get, I gotta wash the car, I gotta, I've got Aunt so-and-so and Uncle so-and-so coming over at 5, and blah, blah, blah. All the beautiful distractions that have you stuck in the created. Remember, I've said it before, everything around you is past. It's already created. Right? Everything is created here. It's actually in a state of decay, if you really look at it. So you're not going to find answers. What you will find are the clues to lead you to your answers within. Right? So, in as much as you won't find answers, they will lead you to them, and vice versa. So, it's again, lose the duality and start looking at the singularity. Both sides of the coin at the same time, equals and opposites, because everything is. Again, back to the song "Stairway to Heaven," because sometimes words have two meanings. Well, they have more than that, but that's a pretty good clue, at the end of it all. So let's run the concept by one more time and see if we can, get people in this headspace. Instead of waiting to see what the universe will deliver, with eyes and to see and ears to hear, well, let's be the third monkey. There's that 100th monkey thing again, right? Let's be the speaking monkey and ask, universe, what is it that I need to see and hear next? And it blew me away. And I gotta say, this was just on the way home that this whole thing kind of coalesced. And looking over my left shoulder as I'd asked the question, okay, universe, what do I need to go to next to carry on this? And there was a Stanis Slavic or whatever, and it came up beside me. Immediately resonated. And I think, I know what that is. Because it was something that's what I've been telling everyone too. Things that you've already experienced. And your clues, you've experienced them all countless times. You just missed them. Now, there are things that you have throughout your entire life, constant repeats. But you never thought twice about it. Well, start thinking twice about it. Start asking, universe, what do I need to see? And then, if that comes up again, ask, what do I need to see and hear in that? And follow your yellow brick road. It's right there. All you got to do is ask, right? Glenda said it at the end of the movie. The means was within you all along to go home. Yeah, click your heels 3 times. It's no place like home, right? And 3rd time's always a charm. So if you don't get it in the first pass, just 3 times. I know it all sounds like hocus pocus. Well, because it is. Welcome to Oz. I mean, these jokers have been using this against us for eons. And the gentleman that goes by Sean, these videos, I definitely want to have a chat with him before, if he comes on the air. I want to have a chat with him just to kind of share the perspectives that we're sharing with the work that he's doing, and I think it's going to razzle dazzle him, and he's going to see the incredible importance from a completely different perspective, an ethereal one versus the physical. I mean, for me, the one, God's creation one that he did about mutilating the male genitalia, the one I had mentioned. Honestly, that was, as I'm watching this, and there's an Egyptian scene, a painting, and I had to look at it, do a few double takes on it, because one of the things I noticed that when you're watching this video, I'll post it, but if you go to YouTube, it's God's creation. Here, I'll look at the title. Hang on. See if this mouse is working. Okay. Doesn't seem to want to go on. Maybe it turns itself off, and you gotta turn it back on. Either that or the batteries are dead. Well, yeah, they were the store ones, so. Okay. Well, I have to get some batteries. Okay, just tell you what, I'm going to toss a tune on, and I'm going to dig up this title, and I really need you guys to have a look at this, because it's critical. And just to let people know, I'll take callers much later, so I'll open up the lines in a little while. There's some things that I need to get out, and I don't need to be interrupted. So let's do a song here. I've got to do this first, though. And
you're listening to Critical Mass Radio. Now it's our turn.
I don't know who thought of this, but somebody just did, so there it is. Be right back.
From somewhere like a dream, your world washed over me and took me far away. So very far away. Made sense of all things wrong. Gave hope where all was gone. What do I need to say? Really need to say. Your eyes are all the words I need, wanting nothing in return. Your love is unconditionally. I have so much to learn. When I hold you in my arms, nothing seems to matter. I'll never let you get so far. Being there is what you do. When my world caved in around me, nothing through the smoke to see. There you were, still standing like an angel, holding on to me. So now you pulled me through, turned faith back into truth completely, so completely. Held strong when others ran, gave my heart a place to stand, and you saved me, more than saved me. Your eyes are all the words I need, wanting nothing in return. Your love is unconditionally. I have so much to learn. And when I hold you in my arms, nothing seems to matter. I'll never let you get so far. Being there is what you do. And when my world caved in around me, nothing through the smoke to see. There you were, still standing like an angel, holding on to me. When I hold you in my arms, nothing seems to matter. I'll I'll never let you get so far. Being there is what you do. When my world caves in around me, nothing through the smoke to see. There you were, still standing like an angel, holding on to me.
You're listening to Critical Mass Radio. Now it's our turn.
And welcome back. Yeah, somebody thought of that. That just went, bam! Okay, that's what I'm doing. So thanks to whoever thought of that one. Oh, yeah. All right, come on, fess up. Who was it? Somebody did. That one just came in a little too clear, too hard. But anyway, yeah, it's... Again, it's about changing one's perspective. The only way you can change your intent is to change your perspective. If you're looking at everything the same way you always have, well, guess what you're going to create? The same shit you've always created. How's that working for you? Huh, didn't think so. Me either. Just saying. You know, I was laying it on the line there, right? So getting back to this video, I had to go and dig up some batteries, and yes, the mouse is working. Yay! Awesome. Now I just got to get that title. Okay, one sec. Let me see. I just got to text a note here, and there we go. All right. It's called God's Creation. Okay, let's get this open. On YouTube, so do a search for this. God's Creation Mutilated by Pharaoh's Perversions. All right. He does some great breakdowns of what the words are in Egyptian, and of course, you know me with the phonics and layering in alternative sounds for the same things. You know, it's like you can call it Pharaoh or Pharaoh. I see Phi-Ro in there, which is a sacred geometry spirit breath. So the whole thing about the pharaohs is creating a physical universe, one that they can control, because they certainly can't control us on the spiritual level. They're powerless, and powerless here too. And it's keeping us in that position. It is maintaining that powerless mentality. You know, the safest thing to do. You want to control a population, especially of gods. It's easy. Keep them stupid and keep them in fear. And there's nothing more ridiculous than a god in fear. Fear of what? You're infinite. Oh, that's right. That's that meat stick illusion thing, right? You think that when you drop the body, everything's lost. No. No, everything's gained. Right? So put that one in the mirror and have a look at it. So there's Phi-Ro. Phi, which is the sacred geometry of physical creation. You know, the Masonic with the big G. Geo. Look at the name George. G-O-R-G-E. Put an O on it. Giorgio. You've got geometric, and there's Ra in the mirror, right? There's your ER. You know, the current. I don't even know what to call her. Can't call her a queen, but anyway, the one on the toilet in London, throne, whatever, right? That's why they call it a throne, right? Yeah, look, Elizabeth ER, right? It's, you know, Elizabeth Regis or Elizabeth Reigns or whatever. But I just see that as creation in the mirror. It's just another allegorical clue. And that's the thing too. When I was looking at this video, I watched a bit more of it today. I had a few minutes while I was waiting to get set up, right? And didn't have a link, but it's on my computer, so I watched it again, and even more stuff was coming out of it. And getting back to this one particular hieroglyph painting, whatever, there's a lot of symbols in there that I thought were very interesting. Like wave energy forms coming from the eyes of one that was effectively. Now, this is the thing, and without seeing it, you won't know what I'm talking about here. But if you get the video and you've archived this particular episode, I'll keep it together at this part so I can show you what to look for. I haven't got it open up; it's straight from memory. But if there are two beings effectively looking like they're getting castrated or circumcised, whatever the case may be, by the very helpful other Egyptians there, right? And first thing I noticed was the slightly different skin color. And another thing I noticed was the one on the left. If you look at the being, it's a she. There's no mistaking it. Check out the hairstyles on both of these beings. One is most certainly male and one is most certainly female looking. So I got to thinking, what exactly are they doing, right? And there's a lot of different ways I can go on that, but I'll leave that one to your imagination. And in both cases, there's two different tools being used. And that's why I need to research these things. I need to have a look to see exactly what these tools are so I can understand the full allegory. But I got to tell you, the one on the left looked like a two-spirit, transgender. And what was interesting was this being, we'll call her a she because that's exactly what it looked like to me, with these energy waves in front of her eyes, and right above her is a Vesica Pisces. So I'm almost thinking that this tool was to do a little correcting versus castrating, right? And the other one, the tool looks completely different, and of course it looks like a guy, and it does look like it's going to get either circumcised or castrated. But at the very outset of this video, he does a beautiful job of displaying Horus, Osiris, and Isis. There's the himself, herself, itself, right? Horus, the light of God, representation of it, right? And when you look at Osiris's headgear, that's exactly what it is. It's exactly what the rabbinics use for a tool to this day. It's a pharaoh's tool for circumcision. It's in the kit. There's no mistaking it. And of course, as I mentioned last night, the yarmulke, well, you know what that is, right? And he didn't bring it together, the correlation. I'm not sure if he saw it or just forgot to mention it. So when you see the national hat of Switzerland, it's a yarmulke. Of course, Yamaka, right? You have Ka is spirit, yeah? And Ba, I believe, is death, or so there's your Merkaba. Lots more to go on that one. A few more dots to connect, but I have to say that while I'm watching this, the wheels are clicking, the gears just going together and seeing this. Now, when you understand what circumcision actually is, circumcion, right? And what he gives a good representation of what the intent was from a very physical aspect. So I brought this up before, so let me bring in the spiritual again. What does it represent spiritually in the allegorical sense? Well, in the case of a circumcision, what is happening there is the divine feminine, physical phi-psi-col part of the male is removed. To put that in comparison, the foreskin is the same as the inner and outer labia. And I've already brought that up to, how would you girls feel about that, having that cut out of you? Right? And that's exactly what's happening to the male. And it's no wonder there's so much anger and whatever. And as he so aptly pointed out, with the foreskin removed, that is a complete representation. And we're talking from a very young age, okay? We're talking in terms of these mutilators in the rabbinics. And this bullshit. It's an Egyptian practice. It's not a Jewish practice by any stretch. as far as I remember, the Jews were supposed to have escaped from Israel or from Egypt. Then why are they still practicing the same things that put them into slavery? So that's the repeat cycle. So who exactly are these beings that are doing this? Well, they're the false prophets. They're the ones that are duping an entire culture of people. And put the religion aside. I mean, they're all created out of Rome. You need to get that. You need to get past that. They all came out of Egypt. Okay, it's the same friggin' story. And people, don't waste your time on people that are stuck in the religiocosus chosenitis, literal translations of the Bible, Quran, the rest of these books bullshit. Please, just don't even bother. Pick a fight, expect a fight. Who is it important to wake up here? You. I don't care about anybody with regards to what I need to share. You see, I make the free will choice to go on the air and share this, and you make the free will choice to come in and sit at the table. No two ways about it. So it's a free will choice both ways. This is where we can sit at the table and talk. All right? So getting back to the whole process of what circumcision is in the ethereal, it is the same thing that the register or the register is all about. It's about controlling the divine feminine creative spiritual essence, creation itself. And I think that's the only thing that those that would be powerless would be interested in, tapping into that power. How are they going to do it? Well, the only way they can do it is to deceive us out of it and to get us worshiping their idols, and their icons. It's all there. If you hear it, see it, and of course now speak it. It's stunningly clear, and it's getting clearer by the second. So where was I going there? Sorry, door open and closed. Doesn't take much to throw me off a download, does it? That's why I'm not opening the lines just yet. Excuse me. So here we have a group of people practicing an Egyptian ritual designed to enslave the male and to keep the male in a constant state of thinking that I got to tell you, when the glans is exposed, that is what is deemed an erection. So it's a permanent erection to keep the males going hell-bent for leather to get laid. That's what it's all about. It's about that energy constantly going. And here's the thing, when you expel that energy, you're tapping the spinal fluids and it's draining away from your brain. Right? That's why it is a sacred thing. That's why they want these porn stores open and all the rest of it, to get everybody in such get the guys in such a frenzy. It's like, they want the guys to drain off their brain as quickly as possible. That's why you're dealing with a lot of these automatons that are mindless. That's all they do, sit around and beat people up, go drink about it, and then try to get laid. That's the whole life cycle. It's all a power thing, a power play with them, right? So there's the first thing that needs to stop. Absolutely, it needs to stop. It's criminal mutilation of a child. And you can talk religious freedom all you want. If somebody came out tomorrow and said religious freedom means I can go and cut people's heads off, you think you're going to get away with that? Oh, but it's okay to cut someone's spiritual connection off. Oh, okay. Let me just make sure I got this right. Let's remove the God essence from the male. Right, but here's the thing, guys. I'm talking to the guys out there. If it has happened to you, all it takes is intent. Now you're aware of it. It has no more power on you. It's what we don't know. It's what we ignore and are in ignorance of that has power on us. That's why knowledge, climbing these steps of knowledge, is so critical. It's so absolutely critical. And all you need to do is bring it into your awareness. And there's the cool teacher. I mean, Jesus said it pretty clear. God is light, you're God. And that's the one thing that these guys don't want us to wake up to. Because they're absolutely, utterly powerless on all dimensions. Not just this one, all of them. That's the fallen. Okay? And I think this is really the only point I want to drive home with you guys. You got to stop doubting yourself. You got to stop. You have to. Well, you don't have to. I'm just suggesting it. If you want to keep doing the circle and the constant spiral down, go out your yellow brick road and back on the red one. You know what I'm saying? There was two paths that you can go by there at when you see Dorothy starting out on the yellow brick road there. There's the red spiral in and the gold spiral out. You want to keep turning around, spinning back into the same cycle. This is your door of Theos. This is your door of God that's open to you, Toto Jeannery, the full character. Dorothy being the higher divine feminine's creation, allegory, and Toto, just like us, getting kicked around like dogs. But Toto sure as hell knew who he was. Yeah, he saved the day a couple of times. And the whole movie was about keeping that, character together, putting them all back together, and that's what this is about. And the fact that Osiris is wearing that headpiece wasn't that he was castrated, so let's set that record straight. He was spiritually castrated, yeah, absolutely he was. Completely spiritually castrated. And but we're not talking the full eunuch type of castration. He was circumcised, which means he was spiritually castrated. His divine feminine was removed. So there it is. It's as easy as that, gentlemen. If it's there in your mind, it's there. Recreate it. Don't get caught up in the physical. Right? As above, so below. So let's start thinking in that beautiful singularity. What you think you are, you are. If you get caught up in looking at all these silly little distractions to try to think there's going to be a pattern in it, I'm sure you'll definitely find stuff if you have an inkling to look for it. But what are you truly creating there? What are you recreating? What you're doing is you're empowering the visuals and concepts and potentials that are being presented to you, instead of asking the universe, what do you need to see next, which renders whatever creation powerless because you're looking for something specific within it. You're looking for the allegory. It's going to come to you. It takes a bit of practice. It is very simple, but again, it's not hard. It's not easy. It takes a bit of practice, that's all. And it takes a whole lot of trust in you. And this is what we really, for me, the biggest message of all is to bring that trust back into you, that religion and church, school and governments and whatever, the nobility, you want to call these creeps whatever you want, what they literally, massacred out of us. And I'm talking massacred in the billions. It's been going on for quite a few thousand years. The numbers will definitely be in the billions. And here's the magic part. It's not a physical game at all. It's physical illusion. You got the game piece to play for sure. And it definitely is a mind over matter. For me, it's about looking at it from as many different perspectives as possible to get a better idea of what the whole thing is instead of just parts of it. Because the thing is, if you're looking at one or two little parts of it, you're very biased. If you can only see, in terms of the light here, the light spectrum, we're dealing with 1% of the light spectrum. 99% is hidden that you're not seeing. The infrared, the ultraviolet, the X-ray, the gamma, delta, all the rest of it. Infinitely up and infinitely down. The visible light spectrum in this physical reality is roughly about 1% of what you can perceive. And since they've, been doing this to slaves, that's what, yeah, sure, it was a golden age for the pharaohs. They were loving it. Lobbing off if it wasn't the whole penis, lobbing off the foreskin, destroying the divine feminine, keeping these guys draining their brains out, literally. Right? So you better be mindful of that. Also had an intuition that hemp oil helps, the little snaps pieces that are missing that are taken out. I don't know if you've ever seen any of the research on cannabinoids. The two synapses, the opposing synapses that spark in the brain, there's like a little, almost like a fingernail piece. It's missing in each side of it. And the cannabinoid goes in and fills those in. So I'll tell you why they don't like cannabis, the tree of life. Right? Well, it's flesh. Cannabis, cannibal. You put that together, canon law. You see how all this kind of works together? Okay. So what the cannabinoids do, and of course the oil is the best way to do this, is that those little pieces that are missing from the synapse, I guarantee you, were the pieces that were lost in all this wanton waste and throwing out of energy. So you can put them back. See, because if you're an infinite creator, of course you can. And the tools are here. Of course, we're playing a physical game, so we kind of have to work both sides of the same coin at the same time. Now you're aware of a couple of different things, and these are just intuitive feelings, downloads, whatever, things that I trust what comes in. Because I'm not looking and staring at this nonsense illusion all the time. Yeah, I get caught up in it, a few minutes every day, just to, oh yeah, it's still here. Gotta have conversations and what have you, right? And, gotta have a bit of fun too. If it's not fun, I'm not playing. But, I gotta tell you, there are no words for this. There really aren't. It's just, it's literally just doing it. The leap of faith, the biggest leap of faith you can take is don't believe in yourself, know thyself. This is the age of Aquarius, right? We've left the Pope behind, right? The little fish hats they like to wear, what have you. And of course, they like wearing the yarmulke too. And I think I connected the dots last night as far as all roads leading to Rome, and of course, just like at Newgrange, north and to the west of Newgrange, see, think fractal, eh? This is allegorical. Think fractal. What looks the same? Geographically, like the Mississippi and the Nile are, upside down kind of versions, opposite versions of each other. Not identical, but the concept's there. Doesn't have to be perfect, If they were identical, we'd see it right away. But so I thought of Newgrange and the building, I think 5 or so miles north and to the west, called Fort Knox, the one that's focused on Cygnus, by the way. Let's take that and fractal it out. Rome to Bern, Switzerland. And it's roughly the same direction, roughly, scale-wise, yeah. Rome's a little bigger than Newgrange. Bern is slightly, bigger than, Fort Knox. So again, it's about taking pieces and moving them. In as much as the pyramids line up to, supposedly line up to Orion, they actually line up better to Cygnus. And that, for me, is another clue. They want to control the divine feminine. That's why I see, while the pyramids could have been used for something good, I see them as very, very nefarious. They were used to keep the slaves in control. Big giant transmitters to the reptilian brainstem. And this gentleman, Sean, does cover a bit on the reptilian aspect and the fact that we are all of that, crocodilian. A lot of these pieces you start putting them together, and then you look at the allegorical of it, right? Well, what is Cygnus? Well, Cygnus is the allegory of the divine swan, the divine feminine, the grace, the beauty, the creation. And what is Orion? Well, Orion is the divine masculine. The Anu in the nebula says that. And there is, I forget, Cygnus tree? Anyway, there's a part of Cygnus that is pumping energy at us all the time, constantly. It's aimed directly at Earth. But these frequencies are coming right at us all the time. So what would that be, allegorically? Well, that to me is the divine feminine, the energy representation. and in the physical sense. And then what's happening when everyone goes into churches? Everyone goes in and starts giving that energy away, and then what happens to it? Poof! It gets focused where? The Orion Nebula, the male. Is it a coincidence that the whole, Rome oligarchy is patriarchal? That they're all phallus worshippers? That there's obelisks in St. Peter's Square, in Mecca, in London? They got a huge one, of course. They've got the Washington Monument phallus, complete with the ova around it. If you look at these things, they're all there. And this gentleman, it's again, when things need to pop up, they do, and it's like, I follow my nose, follow my heart. I look at something and it goes click. I go, oh, well, I'll click on that and see what happens. So I thought, yeah, totally makes sense. And once again, there's the allegory from the physical ripping off the divine spirit. And the whole system, this whole system is based on capturing that divine feminine spiritual essence. We just stir to rule it. And it all comes down to one little line that I've heard all my life, and it's always come up, and it always comes back, and it always... Money is the root of all evil. The one eye, the mono eye. And absolutely, yeah, people say you can use it for good intent. Well, only if you understand what what money really is, because the road to hell is paved with good intentions. So I'm thinking we need to rip up the road and start putting it down properly. Don't worship money, but treat it with the reverence of what it represents spiritually. If we're wasting it, we're telling the rest of our divine feminine spiritual aspect of our consciousness here that you're only worth a $3 plastic item that's landfill. Or something I'm just going to, produce and throw away. It's how you look at it. It's the perspective of how you look at it. And then it's the intent behind what you do with it. Is this something that's going, if you're out getting something, is it something that is going to enhance you, make you feel better, get you in a higher frame of mind, get you healthier? Or is it something that's just going to entertain you for 5 minutes and you're going to throw it away? Are these things that you're using to develop yourself wholly and fully instead of instant gratification of the drive-through window? Ooh, look at the pretty whistles. Look at the pretty bells. Oh, my goodness, I want to have one of those. Oh, that's boring. Move on. Get another one. And that's what the whole consumeria, consumer mentality is all about. See, one of the things that I was doing when breaking down words, I was intermingling a lot of Egyptian meanings. It's like the word chem is black in Egyptian. The black I call, chemical. So it's so many layers. But when you start looking at them from 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, whatever number of perspectives, a lot of stuff just jumps out at you. You cannot miss it. You're going, oh my God, how did I miss that? Oh, I missed that too before. But now you've got eyes to see and ears to hear. Now I'm just going to put this seed out for you guys. You have a voice. Ask. Ask and you shall receive, I believe was the quote some JC character said. It blows me away how many people, preach about the Christian gospel and all the rest of this crap. They haven't got a fucking clue what it's really about. They don't listen to the guy. They're too busy, worrying about some guy that got nailed to a cross. It's an allegory. They missed the message. They totally missed the message. And it is about knowing thyself. And as the story goes, the guy never got nailed to the cross anyway. It's an allegory. You got the good and evil parts, both sides of that coin. And if you're looking at it from a religiocosis viewpoint, you're blind. Because you're only seeing one part of it. And it gets hammered into you so hard that, you talk to anyone that is like hardcore sold on it, what kind of conflict do you think you're going to have? Well, you're negating their entire universe. They're going to go right at you. And all you're trying to do is show them how much beauty is in it. They're not interested. They're too interested in the vengeance is mine, saith the jealous God, Lord, thingy, guy in the sky, gray beard. Apparently God needs a penis or something. Really? Really? Boy, that's a little cocky, don't you think? Pun intended. Oh, I'll tell you what, they're big guy with a penis thing. How about you hang out with yourself and let's see you create something. Oh, right. You're powerless without the void of creation. We're the void of creation, boys and girls. That's what's been manipulated away from us. It's the only thing that connects all the dots, and there it is. Money is the root, or the road. Root, R-O-U-T-E, and R-O-O-T. Right? Phonics, babies, phonics. Money is the path to evil. How are you? What road are you walking on? Are you willfully cannibalizing your brothers and sisters here, by going and trying to gather up as much of that money as you possibly can, because you need something? And that's, I mean, there's the allegory again. It is easier for a camel to fit through the eye of a needle than it is for a rich man to enter into the kingdom of heaven. The meek shall inherit the earth. There's a lot of truth in that, guys. Because those that are out there looking for they're the most degraded beings of all. They've traded off their ability for physical. For the drive through lifetime after lifetime instant gratification. It's got to get boring at some point. Of course it is. That's why they're killing kids. That's why they're raping them. You know? When you get brilliant intellectual minds, Jeffrey Dahmer comes to mind, that are intellectually bored, they start creating new things that give them a rush. And that's really what we're dealing with here. A bunch of degraded beings that are bored out of their noggins, and they're getting a rush out of killing kids, raping them, you know, destroying other people's lives. And they have, of course, the Swiss minions have their, and I love the work that this guy's done. There's a few more videos that I'd love to have a look at, go through, just to see other things. But again, I kind of want to bring my perspective of the allegory of what he's doing in, just to see what happens prior to a show. And without spoiling it, I just want to get on the same page as above, so below with them, because he's smart, and this guy's got his shit together, and he's got his heart in the right place. You know, he's been through the mill, and the stuff that he's exposed, I mean, not a lot of it's in the mainstream truth. It is now. Mouthiest tranny on the internet's here talking about it. You know, so look at the allegories. What can you see represented in the physical as compared to the spiritual? What is it they had to steal from us in order to get creation? Well, they had to steal our divine feminine. And here's the thing, they just deceived, right? It's the old caveat emptor, buyer beware. Well, yeah, sorry, this buyer is not buying anymore. I left Khan, Sumeria. I left Babylon. I leave the horror behind. The mark of the beast. You know, we're all saying, well, the people are going to have look at they talk about Revelations is now. Everything is now. Genesis to Revelation, it's all in the now. If you can see it. But you got to put it now. You can't look at it and go, well, it's a history book. No, it's not. Well, it's a prophecy book. No, it's not. It's a now book. There is only now. That's why I say when you ask the question of the universe, you're asking it now. Because when you ask a question, they're ion, right? So let's have a look at I-O. There's the on-off. There's the binary of creation, right? Of course, N means mind. So I-O mind, which is the himself, herself, creating the itself mind. And you're on that quest. So when you're asking a quest ion, what are you doing? You're fulfilling. It's a self-fulfilling prophecy. Yours. But you got to do it in the now. What do I need to see now? It's not about future, and it's certainly not about past. Neither of those exist. Time is only continuous moments of now, and the illusion thereof. That's it. All right. Download over. Let me see if I still got... I don't know if this is going to be draining my... I just put 2 new batteries in here. Let me just see it. I'm not going to have fun with this, I see. Sorry, just getting my mouse working here. No, I'm not sure. Anyway, all right. Back to this. That's the only drawback with wireless. That's why I didn't want one. Batteries. Yeah, you never know what you're getting when you buy batteries either, how long they've been on the shelf. Good for 12 years. They would have been sitting here for 11 years, 11 and a half months. Almost dead, right? So, there you go. Hey, St. Al. Just got your message. And let me see, just going down the Skype right now. Oh, yeah, happy re-entry. Thanks, Lisa. I love you. Wow, look at loving stuff. I closed my eyes for 20 minutes and it's 230 friggin' posts. How am I supposed to keep up with you guys? Seriously. Let me see, there we go. Oh, let me do this. If that works. Oops. I hit the wrong thing, but that's okay. Yeah, well, there goes the first hour. Just like that, eh? Alright, just open up the net here. Yeah, so I guess this is going to be a constant battery drain thing. So, hey, there we go. Yeah, looking forward to the interview next week, Lisa. So there you go. Bring you in here for a sec, hon. Rolling. There you are. How's it going?
Okay.
Lisa? Yeah, there you are.
Hello.
How are you?
Very short interruption. Honestly, I just wanted to say, because we're on a different time zone, just happy, as I say, re-entry day for tomorrow. And you know I've written you a poem, and I want you to play that tomorrow night on your show. So yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. Did you? Oh, I guess you'll. Are you going to pop on the show, or how's that going to work?
I can do that too. I was going to ask Paul to put it into the studio for you. It's like 10 minutes. That's all. If that.
Well, if you. I was going to say, well, you know, rather than clicking a button, you know, I'm going to be pushy and you know, impinge on your beauty sleep. I don't know why you need it. You're already stunning anyway. So I mean.
Yeah, but when I do the poem, I do it to music, you see. So I'll do that anyway. Then I'll come on and say hi. Okay, I'll give you that.
Well, you can play the music. Okay, I can click the button.
You click the button, yeah.
But you can come in and intro it, okay?
Okay, go on, you're
all right. And I won't play it until tomorrow night. Fair?
You're not allowed to. No, you're not.
Oh, I know. I wouldn't do that.
Well, I was going to ask Paul to put it in, so you couldn't. You see, so you couldn't hear it first. So we'll see.
Oh no, it's okay. I would never do that. And besides, the only time I can play anything is when I'm on air anyway.
True.
Right.
True.
So.
That's no big deal anyway, but you know. I'm making it sound like a big deal here, but it's not.
Oh, well, no, again, I'll play along with everyone. It's, you know, that's all part and parcel of the game, right? So.
Okay. So are you doing anything for your birthday? Yuck. Did I say that word? Re-entry day tomorrow?
Oh, birthday doesn't matter. It's all right.
No, I don't like to say that word, though. It goes against the grain.
Yeah, the Born Identity Day?
That's the one.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Cool movies, huh? Boy, what was it trying to tell us allegorically? Huh? Maybe?
Everything, probably.
Yeah, maybe. You see how everything is now? Everything? Doesn't matter what you look at. But you got to ask yourself the question: what do I need to see? What do I need to hear? Universe, please show me. And universe will show you. How cool is that? And it's staring right at you.
Yeah, with you totally, yes. I am somewhat behind, but with you, getting there all the way.
Right on. And I did do a shout out to Jerry. I was talking to Jerry for a little bit before the show, and he hadn't had a chance to listen to a lot of the shows recently. And so I thought, a good one, and this is for people if they want to get caught up on a few concepts. The interview I did with Johnny Monday night last. That was the Return of Merlin. If you go to YouTube, QLP Productions, you just put in the Return of Merlin, it'll come up for you, and that'll in less than an hour it'll bring you right up to speed, because I covered a lot of stuff on that one.
That sounds good. I missed that. Yeah, sounds good.
So that's the other reason why I like being interviewed, because I get set on the download, right? I don't have to try to direct myself to it. Someone else, I just turn off and let it go, right? So that's why I'm looking forward to Thursday. Yeah.
Kate, I've got to say, Thursday, I had to actually fill in for Paul Fitch last week because he had to work. So it's going to be not this week, next week.
Okay.
Sorry, a week later, basically on the 27th. Is that going to be okay for you? Sorry about that.
That's fine. Okay. I only deal in now. I tell her. All I need to know is what am I dealing with? Okay. I'm mutable.
So it's not this week, it's week after. Sorry about that, but it's just because we swapped weeks, basically. But you will be the first one on my next show. No questions?
No worries. You see, this is the one thing, and I'll speak for all the mutables here. We're pretty easy going. We'll adjust to whatever needs to happen, and it, when you're talking to fixed signs, like Taurus or Scorpio, or what's the other two? I think Virgo. See, that's why I need Santo. But anyway, when you're talking to fixed signs, that's not a concept they're comfortable with.
Yeah. I know.
So but it makes total sense. That's why I make a point of it. Is you don't have to worry about me. I float like a butterfly.
You're just always there.
Just there. I know. That was one of the things about music. I'd be showing up at different events all over the place, right? And people come up and didn't I just see you? Yeah. Weren't you just? Yeah. Weren't you just playing? Yeah. Holy shit! I see you everywhere. Yeah. Because what I do. It's what I do. I just get out there and do my thing. So that's all I'm doing now. I just do it internationally.
Love it. Love it. Do you still do the music thing, Kate? Do you still
when I
the music thing? Yeah.
As far as going out playing, no. I'm doing this 7 nights a week. There's not a chance I can.
Exactly. Yeah.
Do that. I'll get home to playing when the job's done.
Yeah.
And that time is coming now, which is really cool. I'll tell you. I think this thing might do an auto turn off. It might start to work itself now. But just a little reminder. Are you ready?
You're listening to Critical Mass Radio. Now it's our turn.
What do I need to say? That says it all. That's everything.
Do you feel that though? Is that what you feel, Kate? With regards to the future, do you feel that your time for just? I know, sorry. I keep saying the wrong things, don't I?
No.
I get you. I do get you. Yeah. But you must have some sort of instinct as to what is going to happen next.
I know what I am creating now.
Okay. Yeah.
No, universe. When you're changing an entire fractal in the universe, it takes a bit of adjusting. And it's got to be in the grand scheme. You got to make sure that you're not trespassing in free will choice and all these other things, right?
Just reading the chat room here. Lisa is so apologetic. Thank you, live. Yes, that's me. I'm the apologetic one.
Yeah, what are the odds, right?
Yeah, but it's not a bad trait, is it, to be apologetic? Could be worse traits, couldn't there? I could be arrogant.
Yeah, you could be a pope.
That's bloody hell. Thank you.
You know, so I mean, hey, there you go, right?
God forbid, yeah. Okay. Carry on, Kate.
No worries, no worries. Yeah, so the 27th.
Yes, that's what we're going for, defo. Yeah.
In the ethereal creation of, you know what? When we're talking, at that now, in the now, watch how time doesn't matter.
No.
Right? Oh, here's a good one. You don't have to apologize for being apologetic, okay? Okay. And here's something else too. And this is I totally get it. I get it. You know, nobody wants to, you know, seemingly offend anyone. That's the problem with the ego, because we've been so indoctrinated into feeling needed to be apologized to, so we have the need to apologize, and it's just a couple of egos going back and forth.
Yeah, of course it is.
Because when you apologize, you just stepped in my free will choice to say I was offended when I wasn't.
Yeah. Yeah. Get you.
Got it? So it's a mirror.
Yeah, got it. Yeah.
So when you apologize, you've just accused me of being offended. Yeah.
So it's like a double-edged sword again. So
yeah, stop cutting your neck off, eh? And mind while you're at it. Don't even, you were going to say it, don't even go there. Right? There's no apologizing needed. There's no right or wrong. Everything is right and wrong. How are you looking at it? So how the hell, how does anyone need to forgive or need to apologize? Only the ego can be offended.
That said, Kate, I do think the apologetic thing is a much more nice trait than a lot of the other traits out there. So at least it's a kind of a genuine trait in a way, isn't it? So it's my feeling.
Well, here's the thing. When we're actually in the now moment, you will never have a reason to need to apologize, because you're now. You're seeing things as they are. You're not seeing assumptions. You're not seeing, you know, concepts that were, you know, splattered on your canvas due to some indoctrination program through church or school or whatever. Okay. So this is about being in the now, and you'll find that when you are in the now, there is.
I get you.
You see, and I didn't have to say it because there are no words. You just get it. If you're in the now, it's like, yeah. That's all I can say.
If you get it, you get it. Yeah. I still feel I'm still a little bit, and I hate even saying this because you're going to hate me for even saying it. I still feel a little bit kind of.
There you go, assuming I have an ego again. I would ask in my quest of the ion, just say what you want to say. Speak openly.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing. I'm just trying to say. Sometimes I feel kind of inferior, and I shouldn't say that. Bloody hell, why do I even say that?
Ninja, I need you to fire up my chainsaw.
You're gonna kill me now.
No, I'm just gonna chainsaw you a little. Yeah. Right.
Do you know what my poem's called? By the way, my poem to you is called. I love this. PVUC, and it sounds like a bloody window flipping frame, doesn't it? PVUC, purple vibrating unicorn chainsaw.
Nice. There
you go.
Yeah. So here's the thing about when I will not tolerate anything with regard to inferior. Because the minute someone says that they're either greater or lesser than another, they don't know who they are. Why would you make less? Because you're making less of me. Why would you do that? That's the problem with pedestals. You see, when you put someone on a pedestal, you've made them lesser. And there it is. You are perfect as you are. This is why. And here's the rarity of what you're dealing with. Right? When you're sitting around this table, nobody can get offended. You have to give that permission. And when you get past the ego and you start looking at things openly, all you're seeking at that point is, what is the perspective of that little spark as compared to my little spark of our all spark? They're on the other side of the ball. I want to know what that other side of the ball looks like from how they're seeing it. And when you're in the now moment, you're sharing that openly. So how can anyone be offended? There will never be a need to apologize. There will never be a need to forgive or anything, because what you're dealing in is the now moment, and it is complete gifting and sharing. It is a resonance. And when you get into the re-sun, all things for a re-sun, we're trying to reignite the inner, right? And when we're sitting across the table, if you walk, you can put a group of people, if they're truly able to put their ego to the side and not need to win the argument or win the debate or get their point heard because it's more important, you know, my viewpoint is as important or as less important as anyone else's. Yeah. But I have a perspective. Can you handle it? And if people get offended by it, well, that's program. That's ego.
Of course it is, yeah. Kate, the day we get everybody to realize this will be a fantastic day.
We're already there. We're already there, hon.
We're getting there. We're getting there.
Yeah, I love that. I'm a recovering apologizer myself. Well,
I'm just reading that now, yeah.
You too, huh? We all are. The thing is, there is no need. I don't care how badly anyone has offended or harmed or whatever me. Because here's the joy of it. I learned something. So I'm grateful.
Yes. And that's what it's all about, learning. That's what, for every one of us, it's all about learning every step of the way, yeah.
Without putting up any preconceived notions and barriers of our opinion. The saying goes, opinions are like assholes. Everyone's got one. You know?
Yeah.
So, you know, why? I tell you what, you're going to hang around the opinion, aka asshole, all the time, or are you going to kind of shift positions because it might not be a nice smelling area, right? Oh yeah, thanks, Mike. Fixed water Scorpio, fixed earth Taurus, fixed fire Leo, fixed air Aquarius. Okay, and so when you're dealing with people that are of the fixed signs, pay attention to Scorpions, Taurians, Leos, and Aquarians. Don't be offended. You picked the sign. You showed up. You're fixed. What do you need to learn to be? A bit more cardinal and a bit more mutable. Right? Same thing with the mutable. I have to be a bit more cardinal and a bit more fixed. Right? So I can't be flipping all over the place. So you got to. There's the Trinity, right? You got to be all three. What the signs are telling you is this is what your sign specifically has as its base. One of the three, right? It's either the himself, the herself, or the itself. It's always a Trinity here, right?
Yeah.
So if you're a fixed sign, you got to learn to be a bit more mutable, a bit more, cardinal. Kind of get into is that fixed, mutable, and what's the other one? Oh man, that's the thing. When I'm downloading, my analytical goes up. Okay, over here. I need you for a second. Get over here.
Well, if you don't know, I'm giving up.
go for shit, Mike. Fixed, mutable, and what's the other one? Top of my head, I can't think of it. It's all right. It's all right. I wasn't meant to. See? Oh, that's right. I had to display to everyone. Oh my God, Kate's human.
God forbid.
Yeah. Oh no. Yes, perfect in our imperfections, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Did I apologize for being human? No, of course not.
No.
I tell you, I will never be apologetic for anything I say because I'm speaking from the heart. I'm never going to apologize for creation. I'm never going to apologize.
You were a bit scary last night, Kate. Got to say, you were a bit scary last night, but yeah.
Well, I get tired of the Klingons. I get tired of the ones looking for the saviors.
I know.
And I know who they are. I know exactly. Yeah, it was Cardinal. Okay, I did have it right. Okay. I was questioning myself. There you go. See, I still got things to learn. I still got things to work on.
You're only human.
Exactly. And no pedestals allowed because you know what I do with those? I chainsaw them and turn them into wood for my dragon. Then I light them up. And guess who gets the flame? Whoever put me on the pedestal. Right? Yeah. I've dealt with starstruck people my whole life. People that would,
You?
Well, yeah. Well, if it isn't a stalker, it's a starstruck, right? Oh, I've lost count of stalkers. And they start off as starstrucks. That's why I can't tolerate pedestals. That's why I'm speaking from experience here. Put me on anyone that puts me on a pedestal, you're going to learn very quickly how silent I can be and how fast I will move away from you.
Yeah.
That's self-preservation, because I know that program. And that was a test for me. Could I swim away? And you know me, it's like, oh, there's a little puppy, you better save it, right? No. Sorry, I can't do that now. I can't do that now because I'm not going to trespass on anyone's experience to fall flat in their face, do a face plant. That's selfish. What I will do now, though, is I will interweave. You know, someone needs a hand up because they're actually making the effort alongside me. That's different. That's someone with intention in a direction that we're all moving in the same flow. You know, it's like having a bunch of, you know, meat sticks floating around the ocean going, save me, save me. And they're not doing anything. They're just kind of, you know, save me. And then you've got the other ones that are going, I could use a little help. I'm trying to, okay, well, there you go, and pull them along a little bit so they can catch the breath, and then you can turn around and say, listen, okay, no problem, let's do this. We do this together. We don't hang on. Exactly. We don't hang on to coattails. Well, you can if you want. That's pure ego, and that's pure. That's cherry picking. That is a credit hound. Someone that is at a very degraded level, needing to cling on to. That's what Klingons are for me, right? Well, thank you. Thank you very much, Avast. It's fun, isn't it? You know, so what this is about is to recognize those that are actually trying to save themselves versus those that are seeking to be saved. Those that are seeking to be saved haven't got a clue who they are, and that's when the game becomes sink or swim. Right? Yeah. If you're not making the effort, if you're not putting one arm over the other, trying to get to that shore, I'm sorry, because you get 3 or 4 of the ones that are just, I'm a meat stick, save me, clinging on to your coattails. One, you're going to get tired, and you're not going to reach shore because you're going to get exhausted, and your energy is going to be drained, and you're going to get pulled under, and you're, welcome to the river Styx. Chiron can't help you. Right? So.
Yeah. Well, when did you first come up with the expression meat sticks? I've got to ask. I love it. I just need to ask.
2-3 years ago, I guess. I've been using it a long time.
Okay.
And again, it's not being derogatory. What it is it's giving a slap upside the head to get people to realize that, it is. It's a meat stick. It's your temple,
I get you.
Yeah, the temple unbuilt by hands. I think it was referenced in the Bible once or twice, maybe.
Really?
Yeah, what temple are we speaking of? You. The brain.
Exactly. Exactly.
The heaven within. The heaven is within. JC said it. So did a bunch of the others. They all said it. The kingdom of heaven is within. And look what the churches have. Look out there, and there's some gray-haired, long-haired, bearded, winky king in the skies. Apparently, sends his kid down to get fucking murdered because he's too busy sucking back a Diet Coke, Fritos, and watching American Idol.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
That's the Lord thy God is a jealous God. Whoa! Wait a minute. I need to know what part of unconditional love is in jealousy.
Kate, I think I might have mentioned to you at one time when I first got involved with Critical Mass Radio, and there was this wonderful guy called George. You probably heard us all talk about the Scouser, George, and he was going to actually meet up with me to go into the Bible, the real meanings of the Bible, which he'd studied over years, and he was the kind of guy that you meet that you would never guess the knowledge of information he had in his brain, because he came across as being this rough-ass Scouser, and he's just amazing, the information he had. And we never did it because we lost him, sadly, last November. But I was always I even bought a bloody Bible. Bloody hell, that was just like, for me to buy a Bible was like, wow.
Yeah,
and we were going to get together and go through it all, but we never got to do it because he died, unfortunately. But
it's a powerful book, So
yeah, I know it is. I know it's a key. It's a key, isn't it? Really, if you get it totally rightly, it's a key. Yeah. Oh, it's gone quiet. Kate, you still there? Why has it gone quiet? Hello?
Yeah,
Hello?
hi Lisa. Look, hi Lisa.
Linda,
Looks
hi.
like Kate got bumped, so
Hi.
that's why it went quiet.
Thank you for letting me know.
While she'll be trying to get back in, I've made a couple of notes. what we were talking about just now with the swimming and the whole thing that Kate was just talking about with you. Sure. About well, I just wrote a list. Okay, we're all in the water here. We have the options. You can swim.
Yeah.
You can drown.
Absolutely. Yeah.
You can be treading water.
Yeah.
You can be one of those that's clinging on to others' feet, hands, or hair, or whatever part of them you can grab hold of. And you can be, by doing that, pulling them down. Or you can be, bizarrely, probably the worst of all of those, is underneath the water, pushing somebody else up out of the water so that, they can't swim anymore. And you can't swim either because you're busy pushing them up out of the water. This is when you're putting someone on a pedestal.
Well put, yeah.
By doing that, putting someone on a pedestal, you're actually preventing them from swimming to shore. You're preventing yourself from moving anywhere because you're holding them up with your two arms so you can't swim. And that is a great disservice to yourself and them. So the idea of the pedestal, and thinking, oh, but it's a great thing to put someone on, but it's not. It's a terrible thing. And Kate rightly abhors that, and I can totally see why. Yeah. So when we're in the water, let's swim. Look for help if we're drowning.
Swimming, just keep swimming.
Tread water if we're not sure. Hi, Kate, you're back.
She's very subtle there in the background. Subtle in the background, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you caught the part, Kate, where I was saying about the pushing people up from underneath the water so that they're out of the water, and that's the pedestal. You push them up from underneath so they can't swim, and then you're not also swimming because you're busy pushing them up. So that's a great disservice to the people who are trying to reach the shore.
You're harming both yourself and the individual you're putting on a pedestal.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
You might as well just put a bullet in them.
Well, yeah, because nobody's going anywhere and everybody's just struggling. So yeah. Okay, I'm muting out now because I just took that opportunity while instead of putting music on. You were quick back, so well done.
Yeah, well, I just get the computer a punch.
Thanks,
Good. Yeah, I'll jump in anytime. That. So getting back to the whole, what is being taught, it's completely backwards. And I'd love to sit down with any minister or whatever that's willing to actually look at that book and see the truth in it. It'll blow their mind.
How far would that be? Yeah.
Oh, yeah. They'd finally be teaching the right stuff.
Mm-hmm.
They wouldn't be teaching about, got to kill everybody. Got to sacrifice, For God so loved the world? Really? He murdered sent his son to be murdered by the mobs? Really? That's love? I don't think so. They did a great selling job on it. But I think...
Kate, the birds, wow.
I know, eh?
Sorry. Listen to the birds behind you, sorry.
Oh, yeah, they're going nuts there. So, where was I? Yeah, I'd love to be sitting down with these individuals, and and just watch their face light up when they see what's really going on, and it's so beautiful, it's so powerful. It's only what the guy was trying to teach. But what they're doing is they're teaching everyone how to be the mob that killed him, allegorically.
Yeah.
So it's reinforcing that same concept over and over and over. And how has that worked for us over the last, couple of thousand years? Between the Inquisition and all these wonderful ways that the worshippers of the pharaohs love to, mutilate and slowly torture beings to death so they can get their soul. This is real stuff, guys. This is the real stuff. And all I'm trying to do is wake you up to the awareness of it. And once you have that awareness, new game. Because now it's mind over matter. You cannot be, you're not guilty of being ignorant of it anymore. So unbelievable. But I just.
So, Kate, a little bit of last night. I hate to go back to last night because I feel you're going to get at me again, but I'm just trying to say that I tried to encompass everybody in this, and in that we're all at different stages, and we all know that. And there's a lot of people that I do respect out there a lot are doing things in this world now to try and make it better. They don't get the full picture, not by a long straw. They're really kind of like not even 50% there, but somehow instinctually they know that they're doing the right thing, i.e. encouraging everyone around them to grow their own vegetables, grow their own food, but they don't completely get it. So I'm trying to help. I feel I have to help. Not that I'm an expert in any way, shape or form, but I feel that I have to kind of help and guide people like that to kind of get the real picture even more so, even though they're doing a fantastic job, even a better job than I'm doing, because they're getting all these people to grow these vegetables around them.
Well, let's have a look at the allegorical lesson, okay?
Yeah, go on then.
People get caught up in the crutches. I don't need to mention any names here. People get caught up in the crutches.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The free energy and all the rest of the crap that goes along with it, the healing oils and all. What's the allegory?
The free energy.
Hang on. What's the allegory?
Yeah.
What are you teaching? I'm going to share the allegory. When people are out doing, growing their own food, when they're taking proactive steps in a positive direction for life improvement, what they're doing finally is taking what? Spiritual responsibility for themselves.
Okay. Yeah.
They're not looking outside of themselves for sustenance, for
taking it back, basically,
crutches, and they're taking back their godness.
Yeah. Agreed.
So that's
Completely.
the allegory. There's nothing wrong with showing people, what to do physically, but you better share the message allegorically of what it is they're doing in a physical representation of their spiritual intent. That's the message I carry.
Okay.
You got to see the as above, so below at the same time. And I won't say everyone, most people are still stuck in the physical.
Yeah.
They're not seeing what they're really doing to empower themselves spiritually. They're taking control of their helm again. They're not letting someone else steer their ship, their mind.
Exactly, yeah.
So, I'll tell you let the ego steer your mind, you're going to end up in Charybdis' deepest throat and the ship is done, or you're going to end up too close to Scylla and she's going to pick off all your best pieces. I know, I've been there.
I know.
She's a nasty bitch, that one. Both of them are. But I'm grateful I didn't lose the whole ship. I managed to find a little floating piece of wreckage that I managed to in my water wings and made it to shore and quickly built another ship and got back in the water. Took a while, but I got there.
I think essentially the more we get back to, for want of a better word, basics, the better we're all going to be.
Oh, exactly.
It's about getting back to scratch basics. I know we all know that, and I know it's hard because we've all been steered on this path of not being basic and expecting everything that's like above that, but the sooner we all get back to that, and again, it's hard to go backwards, but once we actually do get there, we're all happier anyway.
Oh, absolutely. Good point here. I'm just going through it. Thanks, Steve. I'm just checking the post here. Yeah, we are definitely reaching the top of that cycle again. And this is exactly what I'm trying to show everyone as well, is the allegory of Atlantis.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
Yeah.
What happened with Atlantis? They became worshippers of their own crutches.
Okay.
That's your allegorical Tower of Babel. That they were trying to use tech. That's the only thing that these non-creator, higher knowing beings can do. That's all they can do, is mimic creation using technology within this realm, and they have to use our creative ability to do it. Mm. While we feed their mono-eye, one-eyed monster, their god, gold, oil, and drugs.
Yeah. In
God we trust on their money. The Federal Reserve note is the wrist pin of the entire monetary system, and it's going down. And I'll tell you, the allegory, once the money goes down, you might actually see something good here instead of, oh no, oh what am I, shut up.
Exactly.
Find me a fucking river, okay? Let me tell you what the allegory is. When the money goes down, guess what gets set free finally?
Everything,
the divine feminine
everything. Yeah.
spirits. The creation returns.
Yeah.
I can't take it down fast enough. Would you guys mind helping a little bit? Maybe get your intent in that direction? Maybe.
Go on then.
You know, do you want to stay in the meat stick game, or do you want to try to get some of your, flying abilities back and universe creation, hack reality, have some fun, create a better universe?
I know. It's so frustratingly easy. So frustratingly easy. If we all get it. I know.
Are you starting to see the allegories yet?
I think so. Yeah.
Yes. And there's a great quote from Jerry. Thank you. This is beautiful. Luke 6:46. See, again, this book is powerful if you know how to read it. And why call ye me Lord? Lord, and not do the things which I say. And they're still doing it today. They're still not listening to what the guy said.
See, Kate, this is what George said to us before we lost him, sadly. He did say this book is...
Why do you keep saying sadly? The guy got his mission done.
I know, you're right. He's still with us anyway. I know. Sorry. Yeah, you're right.
He's infinite. He's us.
Yeah,
of course he's here.
I know.
So let's speak of him now.
He did what he needed to do when he needed to do it, and then, I know, I get you. Yeah.
And guess what? Because you're bringing it up right now, he's right here.
True.
So it's still now, right?
Still here, I know.
There's no such thing as death. It's an illusion. That's the meat stick again, right? So he's still here.
Slap wrist. Yeah.
I'll do more than that with a chainsaw, baby. Carry on.
You're not going to cut me bloody hand off, are you?
Oh, no. I'll take a leg or two. No.
You bitch.
Oh, no, you're dealing with a whole different can of worms, baby. This dragon is up, lit, and rolling. And I'm not taking any crap from any more egos or any more nonsense.
Right. Yeah. I know.
I'm talking to everybody. Okay? Period. Oh, here, just fire it up a bit louder, bud. There you go. See, there's your allegory, chainsaw. So what were you going to say, Lisa?
That actually sounded like you fired up your chainsaw, Kate.
Well, I ask and you shall receive. Any questions, boys and girls? Welcome to Oz. If you can see it, welcome to Oz. Or you can walk like the rest of the minions into these big, gloriously built buildings who, worship everything outside of yourself and send that energy off to the very entities that are controlling you. Oh, that's a great plan. Let's keep doing that. I'll tell you what. Better yet, let's open that book finally and read it properly. And, well, we're already steering towards Cygnus. You know how much I care? Here's how much I care about everything else. Sorry, Cygnus is it.
This is one thing I want you to highlight when you come on, Kate, on my show, because the Cygnus thing I'm not totally with yet. I want you to really go into that. That would be fantastic if you could.
Do you want it really short? Here, it's short and sweet. You know me. It's a quick concept. Cygnus is the divine feminine.
Okay.
Orion is a divine masculine. Can you see the allegory? Can you understand the pendulum swinging back and forth? And that we're either steering this ship, Gaia, all of us connected as one, fractal. So we're either steering, and what's happened is we've steered too far. We've moved 30 degrees. Okay? You can talk about what do they call the wobble, right? The galactic wobble in terms of the entire zodiac, where we're 30 degrees off now than when we were at, I believe, at the height of the the Egyptian slavery golden age, where they, had their way with us. Okay?
Kate, can I just ask why is just in pure ignorance here? Why is Cygnus the divine feminine? What is it about?
That's the swan.
Cygnus means swan. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Well, then follow the bouncing ball here, right? Yellow brick road. Here it is in a nutshell. Cygnus, swan, and there's that signature, the signet ring, sealing documents. What does it represent? It represents the divine feminine. All these dots connect so perfectly, if you can see it. This is all I'm trying to do is show you all the simple things. So what we have is Cygnus, the divine feminine, swan, which is grace, creation, beauty, love, all the beautiful things. And that's, by the way, what Fornox is pointing to. That's why Gaia is the three-chambered, missing the fourth chamber, called Ulster. Have I shared this yet? U, the international symbol for electricity, which, by the way, electromagnetic, electrical masculine, magnetic feminine, Magdalene, magnetic. Okay, got it?
Okay.
So there's U, universal symbol. So that's your masculine. L, the power of spirit. They would refer to it in Christianity or the other religions as the Holy Spirit, or that essence of creation itself. The power, putting both the intent and the creation void together. It's the itself. Okay, and of course the last. Any word with stir in it? What does it mean? S-T-E-R. You got to know this. Register.
Yeah.
Divine, creative, feminine, spiritual essence. The absolute divine creation void itself. Now you know what Ulster is and why that still has the boot of the crown on it. As soon as that line gets erased, the heart is healed. And I see people like Ben Gilroy and a handful of others changing that whole map. There are people there healing the heart. I'm here making people aware of it. Ireland is the heart of Gaia. 4 chambers, 4 ventricles, 4 provinces. It's all there. And look at the shape of it. Kind of looks like one too, don't it? Do you know what an Anu looks like? Yeah, absolutely it does.
Wow, yeah.
It looks like it's been ripped away. It's the last remnant of Atlantis. That's where the deal was struck. Ireland's the land of the pharaohs, the real pharaohs. The pharaohs we're dealing with right now out of Switzerland, the ones that have that bloodline that has been intermingled. Prima Nocte, first night, where the Lord, the barons and what have you would have their way with the new bride on her wedding night ahead of the husband. That's so they could spread their seed everywhere. Totally make a mishmash of everything. And of course there now involves the assumption and presumption of family names and surnames and how they're claimed, because nobody knows. Well, I'm going to assume that no, I do. Just because there's a name tag to me doesn't say that I have that bloodline, because I sure as hell know I don't. Because the pharaoh bloodline, if you look at these individuals, and I love the way this guy Sean points it out. Look at their hands; they're elongated. Look how long the palm section of the hand is. They're very long hands. And the other trait that they have are small eyes and large mouths. And I've got big eyes and a small physical mouth, but sure is large when I get going.
Got a big gulp, okay, yeah.
Right? So I know what my bloodline is.
Right,
it ain't theirs.
Yeah.
So I know who I am. Okay? And again, that's another ethereal thing. Blood is ether. It is the essence of... Blood does not get pumped. It does not flow. It implodes through the veins. I've already said it. Science has already proven it time and time again. The heart has not got the ability to pump blood through an entire body. Now, especially think of someone that's, 200 or 300 pounds overweight. If a heart was meant to push blood through that, it would explode in a second. No, what it is, the heart is a regulator. There's the Regis again. It's the ruler within you. And this is the thing that controls the 72 beats per minute. Consciousness, 729. Got it? Okay. Right, and there's the exponential factor. If you look at accounting, you want to know, it's the rule of 72. You divide the interest rate into 72, and it'll tell you how many years it'll take to double that money. So it is an exponentiator. That's what 72 represents to me. Okay, I'll give you all the pieces. I'll connect all the dots for you. I'll show them. And this is my piece of the puzzle. You don't need to have this piece of the puzzle. I've got mine. You got yours. Find out what your path is. Find out your yellow brick road. What is it that makes your heart sing, makes your heart soar? I'll tell you, this is what it does for me. I do get weary of it. I really do. But I know it's absolutely necessary to get this information out. To get it out into the ether, and using my in-voice, I don't build the universe, I use my in-voice.
In-voice, wow. Yeah.
Hooked on phonic. Right?
Yeah.
Play around a little bit. I actually, you have Miranda the Word Elf, who plays around with the letters and rearranges stuff. Me, I'm the phonics elf. I flip the words and the letters upside down backwards to all the different sounds.
Mm.
What else can we see in this? It's a sonic lexigram as well as a visual. When you put them both together, what have you got? You've got a big bag of truth. And everything just falls out of that bag, like the arse falls out of it as soon as you see both of them. It's like, oh, look at all the pearls all over the place. I'm picking those up,
Kate, the bird is agreeing with you big time here, I tell you.
Oh, yeah.
I love it, honestly. Sorry, I just love it. It just feels right. Because they're getting it. They're getting it.
Absolutely. So, this is critical information. Where was I? Sorry, I get in download mode, right?
Kate, you were talking about the words and you and Miranda and what you do with them.
Yeah, flipping them upside down, over and backwards, yeah. And this is, thank you so much. This is what we need to start doing. We have to stop being, one-dimensional in our spells, right? That's where they want you. They want you in the one dimension, this dimension, right? Mm. They want you seeing it from this dimension, and only the way they present it to you. That's why they present the news the way they do. That's why they tell you there's a storm coming, and everyone goes, ooh, ah, and then they create it. And then, of course, there was 2 or 3 of us looked at Hurricane Sandy and said, no, calm beach, look at the palm trees, nice. And that puppy, it was only 2 or 3 of us, and we're, try that shit now. Watch the difference. You see, I don't believe in me anymore. I know me. And every day I get powered up more and more. And this is all I'm trying to do with you guys. If you're interested, I'm trying to get you back to, and I'm not doing any rescuing here at all. You want a piece of this action? You want to start taking control of yourself again? Well, that's what you got to do. You got to take the helm back. Get rid of the tricky little bastard. Get rid of the canvas that was painted for you. Throw it all out. Because until you do, you're trapped. You are stuck in the illusion, and you are on the little red part. You go down the yellow brick road so far, then you find the red road, and you go right back in again. And just keep doing that loop. You only go so far, and then you come back and re-loop. And that's it.
Well,
it's a figure-8 train set. Me, I derailed the puppy. Put on some tracks and just went off in the one direction I was going. Because I want to get back to Cygnus and Orion. I want this clear for everybody. Mm. Okay? Allegory. Did I say that loud enough?
Go again.
Allegory. Spiritual.
Yeah.
You will find the what in the illusion. You will find the clues. You will find the mimics of the spiritual realm. Only. You will not find the answers. You will find the allegories. We've been looking at the literal. Oh, look at the pretty constellation. Oh, yeah, that's nice. And that star's got this and all the technical shit that goes along with it. But you missed the allegory of what it is. And that's what the astrotheology is all about. It is all allegorical. That's why I was hoping Santo was going to be on tonight. Because I was going to go right down a different road with him. And we're going to, and I was going to, well, I'll tell you, when I do get him back, we're going to play ping pong. And it's going to be a symphony. I promise you. Because I'm looking at the stars allegorically, right? And they needed to be busted apart the way he can do it. They needed to be shown for the literal. My job is to come in and show the allegory, the mirror, and what it means. So we have the divine feminine. What is happening here? What is happening here is the patriarchal, the masculine, has the pendulum has swung too far into the intent, into the patriarchal. And that's why we have the mess we do. It's out of control intent, and it's abusing creation. So what's happened here is we've moved 30 degrees off starboard, the board of stars, the right, we've moved away, right hemisphere, divine feminine, Cygnus, swan, grace, beauty, elegance, creation itself. And what's happened is we've steered 30 degrees off that. Now we're starting to steer back, right? That's why the sun's setting further north. And it's going to keep going that way. That's why the magnetic North Pole, well, the North Pole in particular, is moving a mile a day or more now. And it has started going exponential in the last 6 months. that's quite something. There's your physical allegory of what's happening in the spiritual realm. This is a war in heaven now. It's not something that happened. It's not something that's going to happen. It's something that is now.
Yeah.
So put it in the now. I don't want to hear from the history books, and I certainly don't want to hear from the prophecies. What I will do is observe them and go, that matters now. So what is it telling me now?
Exactly.
Orion is we've steered too much towards Orion, and that's the masculine. Now we're starting to bring it back into balance. And when the north and south poles, and they're moving quick, when they get into that neutral zone, they equalize, neutralize, right? Tropic of Cancer, Tropic of Capricorn.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, that wobble stops, and right now we're pointed towards Polaris. And polarized. We're polarized in duality. That's what polarity is. If you're polarized, that means you're stuck. You're polarized in one position. It's a duality. It's a push me, pull you. Dr. Doolittle. There's another great allegory. Talked about this the ninja the other day. What were they looking for? They were looking for that mysterious island, right? And go back to the history books. I mentioned this the other night. The island of High Brazil, Hy. Next word, Brasil, High Brazil, which was about 100 miles off the coast of Ireland, and it was visible until the cataclysm of the Ice Age, ending instantly and flooding the planet. And that was Gaia's attempt to get rid of the gold off the top of the pyramids. She is getting tired of her creations and those things that are part of her consciousness creating with her, in unison, growing with her, watching the children getting slaughtered. Right? Those gold caps got washed off, baby. Right?
Yeah.
So again, as above, so below. Atlantis sank for the same reason. Atlantis had to go down. Had to. Ruled by technology,
So, to a large extent, to the layman here, the Atlantis scenario is almost, in a way, the same as what we're touching on now with us.
It is. It's identical.
Yeah.
It's a fractal. Everything is allegory now.
Okay.
Absolutely. And especially when you get the Dalai Lama endorsing that cyborg trying to put consciousness into a machine. That's a good idea. And the Dalai Lama, what part of spirituality, infinity did you miss, bozo? That you're endorsing that. Yeah. There's your false prophet.
Yeah.
Yeah, the doll eye, get it? Eye doll, mirror, mirror on the wall.
Okay.
Lama, Lama, right?
Yeah.
Of course, and what was the push me pull you? It was a llama. Huh?
God, yeah.
Dr. Doolittle, what did they travel in? They traveled in the sacred geometric snail shell. And what color was it? Divine pink. Creation itself. Oh, did you miss that part, guys? I'm sorry. Here, I'll rewind for you. Oh, I'm sorry. You were being entertained. More like entertained.
Yeah, I know.
Time to be untrained, untamed. There's the untamed melody from Kate tonight. How's that? All right?
Yeah, get you, Tony.
That for a bitch rant. Yeah, well, I have my moments.
Well, you're allowed. It's nearly your re-entry day. You're allowed.
Oh, yeah. So anyway, I got about 9 minutes here. I just want to do the shout-out now that I've got John here as well. We'll roll past. Great big thanks to you, of course, Lisa and Paul, Giovanni, creator of criticalmassradio.co.uk. And I got to say, when Paul held his hand out to a swimmer that was trying to make it to shore, see, there's an example of it right there. Wasn't giving me a handout. What he was doing to give me a hand up, and guess what I can do? I can return that 1,000-fold, because that's what I do. So there you go. There's the gift that keeps on giving. That's what you get for giving, 1,000-fold. So my gratitude knows no bounds in that one. Because look what we've been able to share over the last number of months.
Yeah.
Critical Mass just had its first birthday. And I can't be more impressed with the quality of, like I said, to me, it was like, I thought you guys have been around for years, One, the name carried it all. Beautiful logo, beautiful concept. And it's a get shit done station, right? Now we just got to get the hosts talking less fear porn and more allegory,
Yeah.
Try to put that in the mirror, with this fear thing. It's got nothing to do with you being afraid. It's the mirror showing how afraid these powerless pieces, worthless garbage are, that are so. That's part of our consciousness, and we're supposed to help there too. That's fine, but
do you know what, Kate? Even before I knew you, my instinct told me. I've always thought this, because when I first started off, I was on the path of the Enlightenment, the Native Americans. That was my path when I first started off, and everything you're saying there, it does actually. I've had a conflict with this for so long, with giving out this fear stuff, and I fought it, and it hasn't felt right. So what I'm trying to say is, I agree with what you're saying, because it kind of does resonate with me in a big way.
Well, that's the trick, and that's why I get the feedback I do and the hope that I do, because I won't know if anything's resonating until somebody's talking. Because I say it's true don't mean shit. If it feels right, and I share it, and it feels right to somebody else, and you are the verify. Ver, truth, from verily. I, you, phi, sacred creation. Is it a truth? Yeah. Yes, it is. Verified. So Brian's been hanging here for a second. I'm just going to bring Brian in for a sec before we roll off the air.
Hey, will you tell that bird that I love it? That bird
Lisa loves you. Yeah.
Thank you.
Which one? There's only about 100 out here.
Just that one that's singing at the moment. It's just amazing.
Isn't it?
Sorry, guys.
Singing a great little song.
I love birds. So.
Oh, absolutely. Brian, how are you?
Hey, I'm good. I'm actually programming drums on your song.
Oh, there you go.
While I'm listening.
Sorry, on whose song?
Yours.
Sorry, whose?
Ours.
Actually, right now it's yours because you're working on it.
Yeah, I guess. Sure.
I guess. I don't think there's any guessing involved.
No, I'm just zoned out.
I know, and I'm going to give you a hard time. You know me.
It's all good.
That's kind of what I do. So. Oh, and speaking of music, 440. Does that work for you? Works for me. Well, yeah. 432 works better, but there you go. Area code 440.
How you doing? This is Billy. I just want to thank you guys. How are you?
Oh, you're more than welcome.
From Cleveland.
Yep.
Hi, Brian. Gosh, that many things you recorded.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I thought you were saying hi to Brian.
I'm saying hi, Brian.
Hi. Okay.
Oh, another hand up.
So how are you guys doing?
Good. Kind of on a roll here, so I just kind of need a little input break, and then I'll get back to it. But yeah, actually I'll open up 206 as well, and see how everybody's doing. By the way, we got about 3.5 minutes left here before we roll into the recording. So if you want to get into the recording after the fact, just call in area code 661-467-2401, or of course you can Skype in from the page you're on. The Skype button should be there, and if it's not, just refresh the page. You got 3.5 minutes, and the Skype button should be there, and it can dial you into the board, and would love to hear from you as well. All right, so I'm going to hand it over to you guys.
Go ahead.
I'm going to hand it over to you guys for a sec, so talk amongst yourselves.
Hello, Brian.
Hello?
All the lines are open.
Okay, this is Ann in Wyoming.
Sorry?
This is Ann from Seattle.
Okay, yeah, you got a really bad... can't hear you.
Now?
What's that?
Can you hear me now?
That's a little better.
Okay. Well, anyways, I said I'd call back today, so I'm calling back. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Hello?
Sorry, when people are talking, I don't talk. So just keep talking.
Okay. Oh, that's very etiquette. Okay, well, anyways, I have something to bring to the table, right? And I'm envisioning it as a round table, because a round table, like, you can see everybody, and, like, as opposed to all along the table, like, you gotta, like, look down, like, hey, are you down? You know, there, stuff like that. And so, like, I envision a big round table, even, like, for like, the future of anyone I've ever had any kind of, you know, like, discrepancy with, like, did you say that, or did I say that, or, you know, a round table. I envision a big room where everyone can see everyone, and everyone can ask questions of everyone. You know, did you say that? Was this what you said? Is that what I said? You know, and I would just love for that to happen. And so anyway, so I'm envisioning a round table. And, like, I wrote down some things, so if it sounds like I'm reading from the script, I jotted down. I just wanted to, you know, I wanted to thank everybody yesterday for, like, the warm reception, and I want to say happy birthday, Kate, hours in advance for your birthday.
Oh, good.
Yeah. And, okay, I'm an M theorist, so I believe anything is possible, you know, like, for the left turn I take, there's another and that takes the right turn, and, you know, many possibilities. And a good concept of this would be the show Sliders from the 90s. You know, it was a show about where they would go into a world, and it would look exactly like our world is today. But, you know, as they, you know, moved around this world, they'd find, like, oh, well, this is weird. They don't have money here. They have to barter everything, or oh, their energy is different here. They don't you know, pay for it, or, you know, whatever. Have you ever seen the show Sliders?
Yeah, I'm very, very familiar with it. It's multidimensional, and yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I love that show. But anyways, so okay, and I also want to say, like, I thought, like, this has changed over the years, of course, but, like, I thought myself, like, what is your bottom line? You know, what is it you're seeking? Like, you know, are you seeking fame and fortune, or notoriety? You know, grandiose, or what? You know, what my bottom line is. My bottom line, you know, what do I wish to accomplish? What I wish to accomplish is free energy, quote unquote, free energy. I do believe that this technology exists, and I believe that.
Okay, well, I'm gonna slow you up right there, okay? Because hang on, Ann, just a second, right? Sorry, I don't let people get away with shit on my show, okay? Okay. I treat everyone the same. Me too. Right? When you talk about free energy, why would you want to talk about that when I'm trying to show you that you are creator itself? What part of free energy don't you get? You are it. You are the infinite power source in this universe. You're part of creator. And free energy and all the technologies and all the crap that goes along with it, you know, go ahead, jump on Atlantis, knock yourself out. You got another 26,000 years to figure it out again. I'm done. And I'm trying to show people that I'm done. And if you want to be part of that paradigm, walk this way, the tune, right? So, no, I dealt with enough of that fear porn over years, and I will not deal with it anymore. So. I disagree with you on that. I disagree with you on that. And okay. Well, you're allowed to disagree, and I think, you know, we'll get others to jump in here, hon. And
can I?
Of course you can. Go ahead.
Minutes to, like, just explain my situation, like you don't have to agree with it, but can I be allowed like a few minutes to just speak and just like put my cards on the table, so to speak?
Well, I think you've had about the last 8, sure.
Okay.
I'm not sure at what point I wasn't giving you the airtime. You know, I'm just telling you, I don't want to talk about that stuff, and I'll mute you. Hang on, Ann. Okay. You mentioned etiquette. Practice it. Right. Okay? I've told everyone. Everyone be warned. Everyone be warned. I will shut you down. Okay. You don't have to answer everything I say, Ann. Okay? Thanks. All right? If it involves anything in the physical illusion, go talk to Alex Jones. Go talk to Tony. Go talk to these other guys that are in that paradigm. Not on this show, not anymore. It's done. When Tony left, it left. Get it? So where are you? Go play them on Alex Jones' table. Don't play them on mine. I'm done with the illusion. I'm trying to help you. If you want to stay stuck in it, knock yourself out. Go listen to AJ. He'll get you all sort of riled up, and he'll buy that crap from you. So will Tony. So will everybody else. Not me. And I'll tell you, this show is different. This show is completely different than anything you will ever hear on the web, and it's different for.
Well, can I
can you? See, you're asking for permission.
Will you allow me? Why
are you asking me? One sec. All right. Okay. I had to put you on hold there, Ann, because I'm gonna put it out here right quick. Okay. Anybody that comes in here and tries to ask me for permission, am I allowed to say? Can I say that? You know what? You don't know who you are. Why would you do that? You just finished explaining it was a round table. What part of it, everyone sitting at the same level are I'm no better than you. Right? That's called pedestal. And I just took a chainsaw to it. Okay? So I'm going to unmute your mic again. Of course. Did I open your mic? Of course you're allowed to say things. But I will tell you right now, if you go off on an illusion trail, I will chainsaw you to the ground. I'm done with it. I need people to get that. If you can't handle the truth on this show, go somewhere else where they'll buy your nonsense. Been through it, seen it, lived it, and took a hell of a beating to be able to share this. Down to my last $50. Go ahead. Don't ask me for permission. And don't ask for permission. 1 second. You ask for any permission. Hang on.
I'm not asking permission. I am telling you, I'm paraphrasing, I'm talking.
Okay. You see, here's the thing. When I'm trying to say something to you, I got the buttons here. I'll push them. I can put you on hold all day long. Okay? Now, what would you like to say, Ann? Seeing as we're now sharing the airtime and you're not jumping all over me.
Okay, I apologize if I sounded like I was jumping all over you. I am.
Okay, I think we spent the first part of the show. Ann, I'll make an example of you, hon. That's why you're here. I'm going to show it. What did I just spend 15 minutes with Lisa talking about? What apologies are. It's a pedestal. It's putting something higher than oneself. It's pure ego. I think we covered that pretty good tonight. I know you've been in the call the whole night, so I need you to listen to what's going on here. I don't want apologies from you. I don't want pedestals from you. One more time, that's 2 strikes. One more, and you're muted for the rest of it. Okay? So there you go. There's your mic open again. How about you just say what you need to say?
I must not be saying what I think I'm saying because what I thought I was saying didn't come across as such. So perhaps, maybe when the show plays back, you'll say something completely different. These are possibilities. Okay.
And that made absolutely no sense whatsoever. What are you trying to say? What do you need to share tonight?
Well, it makes perfect sense to me, and this is my universe, right, Kate? So what I wanted to say is that I have a YouTube channel called Arousal One, and I know that you would break down the word. I don't put so much, significance and symbolism as perhaps you do. I am me, you are you. I have your, you have your opinion, I have mine. And what arousal stands for is that my husband and I we needed an email address, okay? And so Andrew, you got these gone, you got taken, then another name that was taken. So, and I thought,
okay, Anne,
yeah?
if you've got nothing to say except gibberish, I'm gonna put you on hold. What are you trying to say? I don't need the long version here, hon. You're pissing me off because you're actually chewing up time that other people could be sharing stuff instead of talking about this and that and you know. No, I don't know. Stop assuming that I do.
You're very funny. Okay, well, anyways.
Okay, well, I'm going to show you how funny I am. There you go.
Is this the Cheech and Chong album going tonight or what?
I'm done with that. It's like, holy shit. And by the way, do me a favor, Ann. My cell phone, I'm out of minutes, okay? I can't answer it, and it's not your personal line. I don't mind. That's, I think, 5 or 6 times now, okay? That's it. Sorry. I draw the line, okay? If you're not going to come in and say something worthwhile, you're just going to spin in circles, not make any sense whatsoever, then that's it. You're on hold. Okay? Go talk to AJ or somebody else that wants that gibberish. I'm not interested. We got shit to get done here, and if you haven't noticed, time's short. Okay? There's a lot of shit going on. Because during that whole gibberish point, I'm probably going to calculate maybe 100, maybe 150 kids starved to death for your irrelevancies. That's what I care about. That's what I'm trying to stop. So get your mind right, get your heart right. If you got something to say, come in and say it. But don't get stuck in the illusion, and don't tell me what I know. You know, every other time. All right. Anybody else? Oh, if you haven't noticed, Kate's not taking shit from anybody anymore.
Everyone's scared to speak now.
Good girl, Conte.
Oh, I'm fucking done with it. Honest to God, I'm done with it.
It sounded like an old Cheech and Chong album.
Didn't it?
Is Dave here?
Is Dave here? Anyway, we're not picking on you, Ann, but get your head straight, get your heart straight, okay? If you get focused. You're spinning out. That's pure ego. That's left brain chatter. You're stuck in the illusion. Break free. Hang out here for a while. You'll pick something up. I promise, hon. And it's not to make less or more of anything or anyone. There's my cards on the table. Can you read them? And they're not easy to read. And I tell you, people that are tuned into this show have got something extra going on. All right? Or they got another ulterior motive. It's only one or the other. Okay? We're here to get shit done.
Yeah, good point.
Speaking of which, the point that you've been bringing up lately, which I really enjoy, is the fact of the not only the pyramids, but the all the underground structures and tunnels, and I put a posting on this morning in the chat room that I've seen, and I've listened to all Graham Hancock's work, and he's done a great job.
Excellent.
But yeah, excellent. And I can't remember the guy's name who did the work on the Sphinx, on the redating. But the point being is, from between about 10 to 13,000 years ago was the bottom of that 26,000 year cycle, give or take 100 years, depending on how you want to calculate it.
Yep.
And that was the bottom of the pit, guys, and they had the technologies. Yeah, the pyramids were probably wonderful, wonderful technologies that we don't even have today, or we may and don't know it. But the point being, they were used for manipulations. And what they're doing now that we're hitting the top of the cycle is they're trying to throw all of the technologies that they've got against us again, so that we can be fooled again like we were the last time. So get away from that crap, see it for what it is.
Yeah, I was going to suggest an album for those that are still stuck in the meat stick, Technological Crutch Illusion. Great song from The Who called Won't Get Fooled Again.
Yeah. The new boss, same as the old boss, boys and girls.
And they're all sitting in Switzerland right now, and they've got their octagonal forces, stop signs. Now, what do you think stop signs are? They're octagons. They're Maltese crosses. The same cross that's on the Pope's jacket. We've talked about all this stuff, but look at the allegories. Look at what is being said. right? What the key we have right now that I'm trying to share with all of you, and most of you get this, it's called re-empowerment of you, the most beautiful, glorious creation in the universe. Creator says so. You're it, I'm it. And it's been turned around. And if you're worshiping something outside of yourself, you're trapped. You haven't got a clue. And I'll tell you, it took a lot. And I go through this every day in my own mind. Was it worth it? Was it worth it? Was it worth it?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Absolutely it was.
Yes.
You know?
Well, the thing is that, we're at the point where they probably were then also.
Yep.
The point being is, are you going to look for a savior, an answer, a technology, a food, a herb, a medicinal plant? I don't care what you're looking for. If you haven't found where you're at with yourself right now, we're finishing what we're doing right now. That's all there is to it. And I ain't got the time, man. It's kind of like, I think I said this a few weeks ago. There's a movie called The Cowboys with John Wayne.
Oh, great movie.
Oh yeah, but you remember when and I can't remember his name, but the black guy who's running the chuck wagon.
I remember you telling the story, and I remember it.
Yeah, and the two boys run across the harlots, and the madame, and the boys get all excited and wind up. One of them runs off, and then the chuck wagon guy sends the last little Mexican kid back to the herd, and the madam walks up to him and says, "Well, what about you, sir?" And he says, "My dear, I have the wherewithal, I have the inclination, but I just don't have the time."
Mm-hmm.
And that's where we're at right now. We have the wherewithal, we have the inclination to help, and we'll continue to help. What the hell you think we've been doing? But I just don't have the time anymore.
There's a beautiful quote, and it's along the lines of, "Don't go where you're tolerated, go where you're celebrated." And that, for me, means basically, come here if you want to be celebrated, piss off somewhere else if you want to be tolerated, because we ain't having it here no more. That's bottom line.
It's all a party here, boys and girls.
Yep.
We've already put in the effort.
Mm-hmm. Celebration all the way. Life is celebration. Life is what we are.
And I want to share Jerry's the verse that Jerry posted again. From the book of Truths of Truths. And it could be the Quran, it could be any of these books, it doesn't matter. These were tomes of the now. This is so perfect. Luke 6:46. "And why call ye me Lord, Lord, and do not the things which I say?" Do you see a pedestal there, or do you see a chainsaw? I see a chainsaw.
Double-bitted axe, man.
Double-bitted axe, a purple unicorn vibrating rainbow chainsaw, baby. Okay, so promise.
I think my translation of that at this stage of the evening would be, get your head out of your arse.
Pretty much. I
love your Irish arse, Steve.
I get it out of your arse.
Get out of your arse. Cool.
So, and again, it's, and as much as I spend every day, this is all I do, guys. This is all I do. I am completely fixated on the prize. And I am not letting anyone touch my helm. I am not letting anyone distract me any further. And here's the new paradigm, boys and girls. If you're not part of the conversation, if you can't follow the topic and the concepts that are going on, and you want to jump in, I will shut you up.
Get a good counselor.
Go find another therapist, because I'm not it. I'm certainly not your savior. And you put me on a pedestal. I like the double bit axe thing. That's good, because you can go in a circle either direction with that one. So I promise you, I will take it to you.
Well, the point being, those of us that have been looking at this situation for a while, and I'm talking clear back into the 70s, and it was hard to get information back then. I mean, there was There was a few books out. There was a few people talking certain things. But it was hard to find information. If you lived in a rural area like me, you didn't even have very good library access. So written material was hard to come by, if you could even find a publisher that would put it out. But in the last 20 years, and especially the last 10, there has been floods and floods of information. Some information, some disinformation for the discerning heart. And if a person today, to me, is saying the things that I talked about 30 years ago, I'm going, you're not going to catch up, I don't have time for this because we've got to take care of this shit. It's like you're talking about Switzerland and the Vatican and what's going on with the Royal Bank of Scotland. All this physical world crap is melting away, and you better get your head out of your arse, man, because we ain't got time to wait. We're not going to wait. And there's only a few that pass through the eye of the needle. So, like you said, unpack the fucking camel, man, because you're carrying too much shit.
Yeah, you bring anything physical. Try to bring anything physical of the illusion with you. You're not getting through the needle. This is the point I'm making. And
a fine job you are.
Well, and I'll tell you, that's the other thing too. And I've had it happen too many times over the last couple of weeks, where I get into download zone, and because I'm go ahead, find another host that will open the lines and leave them open. Go ahead, find one. You won't. You know what that is? That's called open table. And I'll tell you something. When someone is sharing a story with you at the table, and they're, better yet, they're in the middle of a joke, are you gonna jump in and change the topic, or are you gonna let the joke finish? So here's another little heads up for people that love to jump in. And I think by now, anyone that's listened to me any length of time, when a download's going. And when I got one going, here's a promise to everybody, and I don't care who you are. I don't give a shit, rat's ass, who you are. If I'm going to download and somebody jumps in, you're on hold. All right? I think that's fair. Because I'll tell you, most hosts, call in or not, they can just keep going and going and going. So what I'm looking for here is we do this together. And what I'm feeding off of is the collective energy. That's what gives the downloads. So when things get jumped in, what you're saying is, well, I've had enough of that truth. Okay? I'll be fair with you. I just ask for the same in kind. That's all.
Find another host that downloads in real time on the planet anywhere.
It's not, guys, I'm going to say this again and again and again. There's nothing special here. This is just a piece of the puzzle. This is you. What part of me are you missing as being part of you? That's the only question I have. The resonance.
That reminds me of another song, I think.
Yeah,
Isn't it? Part of me, part of you, up and down and all around.
Bingo. How are you doing, MJ? Good to hear your voice, my friend.
I'm great. I popped in late, so I missed everything. I just caught you hacking.
Oh my! Chainsaw.
I heard her talking about parallel worlds, and it kind of got me all interested. And then she just went off onto some other gibberish. I think, I'm not sure. Maybe I missed it.
No, that was pretty much it.
Distracted. That's why I don't talk too much, because I get distracted so easy because I'm always kind of multitasking and I got other things going on. But what you were saying about getting it done, you got a job to do. I guess what you're referring to is just that you need to get into the physical. If you really want to control the physical, you got to get to know the non-physical. You got to feel comfortable with that, and that's quite the little process. And what I think that was Steve was saying. The people that are just kind of getting what we knew 20 years ago or 30 years ago, it's there's a lot of catching up. Now, I'm finding there's a lot of the people that can catch up way fast. Like they're moving up to speed. Like in, we're talking like they're doing in 2 years what really took us 20. But for most, I don't think they're going to make it. And I believe there is going to be quite a little exodus of school. It's already started. I don't know if you guys have noticed. It's just that the dis-ease of people knowing that they are in slavery but not confronting it is actually killing off people. Like if you actually pay attention to the numbers, it's like people are dying off like you believe. Like I'm pretty young and people are dying off around me. It's pretty nuts.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. And there's your manifestation, right? And that's another form of exodus, right? Get out of here before you might actually wake up, so you can come back. So that's another indication of someone that wants to hang out, right?
Well, somebody actually told me that if you look at the statistics after World War II, right, and then you look at the actual amount of people that are supposedly on the planet now, it's impossible. There must be people coming from somewhere else. Where they're coming from, we don't know.
Yeah, exactly.
If you do the arithmetic, the amount of people that are here is absolutely historically impossible.
Couldn't agree more. Yeah, where are they coming from? Well, I would hazard to say that there's a lot showing up for the final showdown here.
Yeah,
I think we're on to something, boys and girls.
I know. I've never seen someone on a higher learning curve as far like it's very interesting to watch you move through this because I've just kind of stood back and you just kind of triangulate everything for me. It's beautiful, and I triangulate stuff for you. It's the stuff that we've talked about privately, and it's just when you find someone that knows what you know, that's pretty fucking out there. And then you find someone else that found it independently, and then you know that you know. And it's just like once that starts, then the downloads start to happen. And watching you download, it's beautiful to watch. And it's just moving faster than I could have imagined. Like what we're doing now, I watched and was a part of a group of people. What took a group of people about 2.5 years to do through just like speech and behavior modification.
Yeah, it's I see. This is the part where it literally this is songwriting. This is all this is. This is songwriting, catching and using the things that I've spent a lifetime unknowingly doing. Completely, that just kind of hit me. Not knowing where it came from. And where it came from was the silence within. And being still enough to listen to the whispers of you on the wind. That's all songs are for me. They're just... And that's the same thing that's happening right now. And I am not doing anything different. Nothing different. All I've done is brought what I was doing into a knowing reality versus unknowing reality. And the only thing I want to share is how to do it. And it's easy. Shut up. Stop leaning on the book. Stop leaning on everything else. Look at them for what they are. They're clues, they're tools. Just walk. Trust yourself completely. Where you've been told and taught for so very, very long that you're inadequate, you're inept, you have no ability, you're forgetful, you're stupid, you're fat, you're whatever. Throw it all in the bin. Because that's somebody else's canvas that has you convinced it's yours. You should see my dumpster. It's full. And that's all I've done. And I've talked about this before. Let's go allegorically again with clearing off your RAM. What is the RAM? It's Aries. Where's Aries? It's heaven. Clear your hard drive. Clear the random access memory. Once you clear that garbage off, your computer runs better, does it not? Allegory. Spiritual allegory. As above, so below.
Those of us in our areas, we've already cleaned out our cobwebs a long time ago.
Well, so you think.
Well, you're probably right, I think I have a few.
I've got lots of clearing to do, but I'll tell you, the more shit I get cleared, I never let myself off of that shit either. Don't worry about it. It's like, yeah, I'd love to be able to think that, and then no, I know better.
Oh, I do too.
I know you do. That's why I laugh. And I certainly wouldn't poke fun at it otherwise. But that's it. It's just a matter of clearing the garbage off. Everything you thought you knew and believed in. Where did you learn it? Was it yours, or is it a copyright? Is it a copy?
And everything you think you are.
Oh yeah.
The other part of it.
Boy, that one was a real cool one for me. What is that song from going from something to something? It was from the 50s or 60s. I think it was
give me a little more than that.
Paul Anka tune. From
I'm a Paul Anka fan. Give me a little more.
From Bobby Socks to or pigtails or ponytails.
No, ponytails to. Oh yeah, okay.
You know the tune, right?
Yeah.
Well, I went from work boots to ponytails. Okay. All that for that. That was just a sick joke. But anyway,
I used to wear a ponytail and work boots, so there you go.
I wore a ponytail all the time. It's when I put two in that bothered people. Okay.
I used to wear braids in my beard too, so
Oh, that's cool. I gotta tell you, down in Mexico, used to go down there for diving, right? Back when I had a life and everything. Anyway, that was cool. Life, that was wonderful. But one of the first things I do when I get there, I had, find one of the girls that does the braids in the hair. And I get 3 or 4, beaded braids for the week, and of course they last for, 6 months, right? And it's like, oh, I love these or something. Yeah, anyway, stupid little things, trannies.
The thing about the world that we need to keep in mind as we go through this, because this is important, is that the world, which is Sophia, we are a part of. Now, this infringement that we've had to live through all these years, we are not a part of. That does not mean that she did not give us all this beauty and wonder to enjoy and experience and be a part of with her. And so there's a lot of times, just like you said, when I used to have a life, well, we're going to make the life that we were supposed to have with her, and she's going to do it with us. This is a joint venture.
Yep.
And that's where we're at in this thing. That's why people like tonight, when a few of them get to talking and rambling on and talking shit, and it's like, shut the fuck up, because you don't get it. This technology, this bullshit is gone. It's going away, period. And then we will be able to experience not only each other, but Gaia and all the beauty that we have here. And that's what we have to look forward to, my friends.
Agreed.
Well said.
Yeah, that's very well said.
Is that Steve? Is it Steve?
Yeah, Steve. Yes.
Hi, Steve. Can I just say, Kate?
Howdy.
I think. Hi, Steve. I just think what you just said is basically what you're saying. All of you are saying is we are all it. We're all it. It's that simple. Yeah.
It is that simple.
Okay.
We're it, and they're shit.
Yep. See, here's the thing. When you finally come to the terms within self that you are creator and creation, all of one and one of all. When you finally know that instead of believe in the other crap, okay? Believe. There's half the word's a lie, right? So, when you finally know this, things start changing. Things start changing rather quickly.
Well, would believe be like believe like take leave, like be gone?
Well, lie, be live, right? Be the live truth.
Or believe. Just I will believe. I will leave this plane, and I will just leave and live where I live.
Bingo. There's your mirror. So I look at the word believe. It leaves. See, the thing about belief is it leaves a doubt. It's like yes. Any religion, anyone in any religion, do you believe in your God? Well, yeah. Well, okay. Well, do you know your God? Well, yeah. Really? So, can you show me the postcard?
I'll write you one up real quick.
Would you? Thanks. See, that's the correct answer. That is the correct answer. And all I am trying to do, and I don't like trying, but it's a very trying thing to do this. So it's a double-edged sword on that. It's get you to see the most beautiful essence in this universe, creation itself. If you think yourself less than creation, then that's what you think of creator. Aura, the create of aura, the golden raw of you. Not that, look at all the names they call it. Ra, Jehovah, Beelzebub, Baal, Moloch, Marduk. It's in all the allegories if you can see it. It's all the same thing. It's all the same illusion. It's all external. And it is merely a reflection, a mirror shadow reflection of you. Just take it home. Bring it in.
Now, I have a question for you.
I love questions.
I know you do. That's why I'm interviewing you.
Thank you.
You have done such a great job on the allegories and the word breakdowns and all the other wonderful things. So, now that we know what we know, what do we do with that? Because, if we keep reiterating the same regurgitations, then we are stuck in the same spot. Same
answer I always give.
Okay.
It will always be the same one. I am seeking but one resonance. If but one shall awaken. That's all I'm looking for. Now that's a very, very out there concept for most people to grasp, but I know exactly what it is. Can I put it in words? No. But what I can say is this. When that other 432 hertz a bell rings with resonance across the cathedral, the twinkling of an eye occurs. The exodus is complete. The X-ID, us, is done. Like that.
Beautiful. So you're willing to stay the course, my friend. I don't know. Yeah. I'm giving you hugs and kisses here, okay?
I know. It's all good, and don't get me wrong. Please don't get me wrong. I feel the flow, and I know what the flow is. And it, for me, it's the simple. Here's the simplest thing. It does not elevate, does not take down. It's called granting of beingness. When I grant you the being that I am, it's a two-way street. You see, because
I grant it back to you.
Well, I'm the mirror. You see, so when you are speaking to me, you're speaking to you equally.
No, you're my mirror. I'm your mirror. Yes,
right.
Exactly.
So that's the resonant mirror, and that's where ego can never enter this realm. Can never enter this realm. It is an acceptance of beingness, and it is both taken and given with gratitude.
That's because there's no ignorance.
Exactly.
We did not ignore each other. We granted each other full glory.
Yeah, and that's just probably why I had such a hard time with people complimenting this, that, and the other. It took me years to learn to say thank you, and it's not that I wasn't appreciative. I never wanted to be seen as one pedestal, two egoed or anything like that. I mean, this is one of the things that used to piss off other artists when I'd show up because they'd look like assholes around me. And it wasn't because I was trying to make them that way. It's just the contrast was that stark. They're like, oh yeah, I'm this, and oh, okay. Well, I'd just be like, thanks, yeah. I do this because I can. It's just something I can do. It's a gift. Gifts I give, and I'm very happy you enjoy it. I get as much joy out of the creations as they come into me to give them back to you where they came from. And that's it. There's no credit needed. It's like when Brian was on. Beautiful. Here he is. I bring him in at the time he's working on, I believe, Like an Angel. He's saying working on your song. Whose song? Well, your song. No, who's working on it? You are. Well, that's yours right now, isn't it? You're creating with it. And that's why, with my band Ath and Rye, all the songs, and this is going back when money was a concept and royalties and all the rest of it. Everyone in the band, whether I wrote the song or not, which I did, I wrote them all basically, so about 99% of them anyway. They were all shared equally because everyone had a creational aspect within that. All I did was, I treat it like the carpenter. I build the frame of the house. Then we have people, doing the brickwork, and you have the other ones doing the painting, and the other ones putting the windows in. Just because I can frame a house doesn't mean it's finished. In some houses, they're fine just with the framework. You know, that's just me and a guitar. Others...
That's because you didn't make the 2x4s and you didn't pound the nails out. You took tools that were given you and built something else with it. You created something. I
recreated. I took energy in one form and just transmuted it into another.
Well, Sophia Gaia grew the trees.
Yep.
Somebody cut them down, made them into lumber. Somebody dug some ore from the ground and made some nails. Then you came along and you said, well, I can take those and create something else.
Yeah, so whose is it?
You know.
So whose is it?
It's all of it. It's all of ours.
It belongs to all. That's why you cannot own anything. Owning things is an illusion. Own backwards is New World Order. And they got you by the short and curlies. They got you by the short and curlies. Worship the whore. Go ahead. The whore of Babylon loves you. Stay in commerce. Be the good Sumerian. The good Babylonian. I'm done. I don't worship their idols, their icons. I don't worship their mono-I, money. I'll leave that for the pedophiles in Switzerland and Rome and London and all around the world.
In America.
Absolutely. I leave none out.
And we will stand together. We will stand together. I don't care what country you're from, because there are no countries. You know, Sophia is who she is. She's the one, the una. You know, the unification. And that's where we got to go.
Yep. At the end of the day, there's only one fact that's going to come out. You are known by your actions, your act ions. What are you doing in your part of creation? Are you building or are you destroying? And if you trespass in the free will choice of another, especially a child, and they do love killing the children, hundreds of thousands every year getting delivered to them by organizations like the FBI, the CIA, the RCMP. Oh, they're notorious for it. All manner of octagon. And I love the way this guy puts it right out there. See what I mean? This is taking these dots and just melding them all together to show people the biggest picture of all. And many of these entities, we can call them humans for the most part, the ignorant ones that are going along with it and are sold by their egos for their little pieces of paper at the end of the week. They're table scraps from those that would just as soon see them dead. You know? They will wake up. They don't have a choice. Our frequency is rising by the instant. And this is why I tell everyone, I beg everyone, get into your own zone. Get into you. Get your vibration up. All we got to do is hold on. And the higher we raise this vibration, don't worry about saving anybody around you because you're trespassing on their experience. Stop. If you truly want to save them, you will save yourself. You see, there's nothing conceited.
Can I just say, totally agree with you. Totally agree with you. It's like lead by example, and I kind of get where you were coming from last night now even more. It's like we can't really advise people. They have to get it themselves, and when they do, I don't know what I'm trying to say here, but I do get what you just said now. Just resonated with me completely. It's lead by example. When you get it in your own head, it works. It kind of portrays to other people. You're kind of giving it out to other people. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Again, it's as simple as you've got to get within you. You're not going to save anybody. I'm sorry, you're not. And the more you try, I tell you, I've had lesson after lesson, and I had one staring me in the face, not knowing what it was, and it was only over the last week or so that I was putting it all together, and oh yeah, there you go, rescue diver. You better stop doing that, because it just keeps getting worse and worse and worse, and that's it. Fine, there you go. I'm letting go of the chain. Because when I'm doing that, I am denying another their experience. I am trespassing on their free will choice. I am actually aiding and abetting in the Savior program. Get it?
That's because we're going to the heart and not the head. You know, when you do the brain and you try to figure all this out, and you know you come to an understanding of all the information, then you have to say, okay, now what do I do with this information? I have to discern it with my heart. And when I discern it with my heart, then I realize that I can't go and save anybody, because I have to digest it within myself and manifest. If I really believe in what I'm saying, then I have to manifest that, and I do that with intent.
Exactly. And I got to tell you, it's one of the hardest things for me to fathom is looking at all these different buildings, be they churches, synagogues, mosques, I don't care, whatever buildings, and you've got very well-intentioned people, some very beautiful souls. I've met some beautiful souls. But they're teaching from the mirror. And the only question I would love to sit around in a room full of them, the only question I would ask them, is it your intent to burn all these people with nonsense? Or was your real intent to come in and teach people the truth so they can learn from themselves, from the master, one of the ascended masters? You might, for those that might not know him, I think they call him Jesus Christ, call him Buddha, they call him Krishna, they call him Muhammad, they call him all sorts of names. It's all allegorical. But these beautiful teachers that have been so absolutely destroyed with the fallacies. Look at the word fallacies. There's a reason why. Okay, you hear it now, don't you? Phallus. What is a phallus again? Well, you take the H out and you got palace. It's all the same thing. But you've got these beautiful teachers that have taught so much gorgeous truth to get to the kingdom within. Unless you call all these teachers liars, deceivers, that's what you're teaching. And there's nothing I'd love more than to have these people teaching this truth that is so deeply embedded. And it's it is a rice paper thin layer on it. It takes just one reality check with some of these most glorious things that could be read properly. It says right in the book, it's all allegory. It says in the book. See, and the one thing I do have in my grace, and I can talk to any in terms of the Christian faith, I can talk to anyone. I've read the book front to back, New Testament twice. And I would challenge a lot of ministers. Have you done the same? I've met very few in my life, and it wasn't because of an ego trip or anything. It was just an observation. Okay, great. You want to fix my truck? Did you read the manual? Oh, and you want to play with my soul and you haven't? I don't think so. There's a lot of responsibility there. And unfortunately, these beautiful people that I know their hearts are in the right place, most of them. Well, maybe not most, but a good percentage anyway. I know their heart's in the right place and their intention is pure. But they've got, they've been taught it all backwards. And what they're teaching is slavery. They're teaching external worship of idols. It's all been put in the mirror. Again, I go back to the temple built without hands. Not the buildings that were built by hands. No, the temple. And you hear them speak of it. Your body is your temple. Yeah, well, no kidding. You got one on each side of your head. Solomon's temple, Pillars of Hercules, the Gemini twins, Castor Pollux. Shall I go on?
2 nuts and 2 ovaries.
You got it. So I mean, it's.
So, Kate, we need to start having Bible classes with a bloody difference, yeah?
Oh, that's okay. Well, no, we don't actually, because there are a couple of masters out there, and one in particular in this particular role, based on what he's done. He's already done the work, and he did it over the last 30 years, and no one was paying attention. But they're paying attention now.
Who's this, Kate?
Bill Donahue. And I tell
you,
Bill,
yeah. Okay.
Yeah, you want to do your neighborhood parish. Look at the word parish. Seriously, is that not a big enough clue?
We shall all perish upon the face of the
Now here, another allegory. Vicky sent me a Skype text. Here's another allegory for you. There was a call explosion just outside of the Ascension Parish.
In Louisiana.
In Louisiana. The sinkhole. Sinkhole. Get it? You seeing this yet?
Oh, well, you know that Louisiana is the main home base and has been for the last 50 years for all the chemical, biological warfare and all the warehouses. That's where they store everything. It's in Louisiana.
Well, yeah, and again, this is you're seeing the destruction of it. It's going down, guys.
That's what I was saying. You know, and it's time to start moving to the next step, folks. You know, you can keep reading all this stuff all you want, but if you don't understand what the hell it's telling you, well, then it ain't doing you any good.
Yeah, and don't be buying into the New Age ascension garbage. They've done a great job of that. An even better one. You know, do you know the rapture they're speaking of? When someone is in rapture, you know what that is? Bliss. And the rapture happens within. That's what the revelation is all about. If anyone bothers to read the book, and of course a beautiful tie-in that Sean did in one of his videos was the seven-headed, seven-headed seven-headed something. It's in Revelation. I have to go back and look it up. And 10, and there's this, and there are 7 government officials. Where? Switzerland. Guess what Katie's new target is? Downtown Bern, baby.
Switzerland.
Yeah, Nazi land. Okay?
Bait and switch.
And where did it have to be? The country that had, that place that had to be seen as the most neutral, the quiet little one, the one sitting in the corner pulling all the puppet strings.
That's what I said last night. You know, look at the neutrality of Switzerland. What a joke.
You know?
My mother always taught me that it was the quiet ones that were the worst, and they were the ones you had to watch.
Well, exactly.
Well, you don't have that problem then, do you?
No, and thank God for that.
Oh, it's always the quiet ones that are conniving and working and thinking of, that's the other part of the whole concept of silent treatment. Oh, really? What are you doing? And that's the only thing I feel. What are you doing?
That's why I trust Kissy, because she's like last night. She's just outspoken. She just right off the top. She say fuck you. If you don't like it.
It is what it is.
Well, that's why we all have to be. Well, we just have to be that way, and it's just a time to be that way. If you're scared to stand up for your own shit, nobody else is going to wipe your arse.
Nope, definitely not. I just MJ, you still in the call here, my friend?
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah, you just had a birthday, did you not?
I did.
Happy
birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
I don't
Happy birthday to him.
I can't think of you guys. You're all out of fucking.
Happy birthday to
you. We actually
It's the by and nothing with no events. For years I always make sure on my birthday that I either spend time with a friend or actually go out alone, and very interesting things always happen. Of course, interesting things did happen, but it's very important that there's no pictures, no event of any type to imprint the time, because I don't do time, and by doing that, it's just for me maybe a year. For other people, maybe a year went by, but as far as I'm concerned, it might have only been a couple of weeks.
Yeah, I just look at it allegorically, and what it represents as above, so below. Now I've been looking at that like that for the last couple of years. It's doing the full circle and thinking, okay, I did another loop. Let me see, what relevance does that have astrotheologically, and what do I need to see, and how do I need to look at it from an allegorical? What is the clue telling me? Right, that's it. It's I'll tell you, I haven't even got a show booked yet for tomorrow night. I thought I had, but which is no problem. I can do that. I think I've got a secret hope that someone's just going to come and let's go for some quiet time somewhere. So if I don't show up tomorrow night, that's because Katie got lucky. No, I'm kidding. That's not going to happen. No, you know what I mean, right? So, but
never say never. You don't know?
I'm wide open. This is the thing. What is tomorrow? Well, I don't know. I'm here. That's it. And this is the point I was trying to get across to Anne. And you know, just be now. And you know, and that was an individual, and no harm to her, but that's someone that was just spinning right out. There was no concept of now. She was everywhere. I can't deal with that. You know, you hit, like MJ said, you hit with an idea, and okay, we'll continue on with that. No, so then I try to get this email address, and I try to get that email. I don't care. State your piece. You know, if you want to shoot the shit with someone and talk like that, then, you know, I guess talk to your hubby or go and talk to a friend. You know, sorry, that's not my realm. I don't play in that. Homie, don't play that game anymore. I've watched this planet spin out to the point of children dying. Done.
Yeah.
You know? And if you haven't noticed, I've got a pretty big backhoe these days. You want to shovel shit at me? Well, I'll throw it 1,000-fold back at you. There you go. What do you think of those apples? I got your number. Oh, there are happy sounds in the background. See? The sirens are going off. That's why. You know, yeah, red alert. That's exactly what's going to happen. The sirens are going to go off. The chainsaw is going to get fired up, and you know, if you can't handle the heat, don't start a fire with me. Promise.
So can I get a bit of a recap of the show?
Oh, yeah, I covered a lot of stuff tonight, I think. Effectively just trying to get in people in the groove of seeing the as above, so below. The mainstay of it. Let me just do a quick sum up. You know, Hermetic only gives you duality, right? You know, eyes to see and ears to hear. Well, it takes away your God status. What about your voice to ask? So I've just kind of added the Trinity, the final piece of that, saying, well, that's great. If you have eyes to see and ears to hear, well, you might want to ask what you need to see and what you need to hear. Ask and ye shall receive. Who said that? Oh, that's one of those teachers again. Oh, but they're full of shit, apparently, according to the church.
Seek and it shall be opened unto you.
Exactly. You know, I wish they'd actually pay attention to the stuff that's being said. It's beautiful, but they're saying it all backwards. You know.
Well, I'm glad you're bringing that up too, because it is a lot of beauty. The Bible, the Quran.
It's all gorgeous truth.
It's all gorgeous, wonderful, wonderful allegorical truth. Back in the late 70s, early 80s, believe it or not, I was a holy roller, unordained preacher for a while.
There you go.
Yeah, and I studied the Old and New Testament and the Hebrew and the Greek, you know, and was good friends with a Assemblies of God preacher, young guy, and asked him. I said, well, you know, if I decided to go forward in this for like the third time in my frickin' life, what's seminary like? He said, well, I'll tell you. He said, they do a really good job of teaching you how to milk your congregation to make the most money. It's basically a business school.
Business school. And just to let everybody know, we got about 4 minutes left here. If you want me to finish on a song, say so now, and I will do so. And if not, we'll just roll it out.
You gonna do it live?
Oh no, my guitar's inside. I'd waste 2 minutes just getting set up. I just noticed the clock. I'm thinking, holy mackerel, 3 hours just blew right by again. Some crazy.
Oh well, thank you for taking your shoes off again last night, by the way.
Oh, I'm up for a song.
All right. Well. Okay. Well, we got 3-4 minutes. Anything in particular you want to hear?
Angel.
Again?
I love that.
How about Long Hair Country Boy? You ever do that one?
I can't. Copyright stuff. No. That's Blog Talk. You can't do it.
Oh, okay.
I like Hear the Sun.
Okay, let's do that one. We already did Like an Angel. For Christ's sake, you can put it up on YouTube. Shut you up.
All right. Well, whatever.
I love you. Here we go. And we'll have just about enough time to finish it. So, good night, everybody. Thank you so much. And if there's a couple of seconds after, I'll finish off. But here's the tune. You're the sun. Love you all. Hey, do me a favor. You're all gods. Start acting like it, please. Thanks. Appreciate it.
All right, then, if you say so.
No.
I'll create something for you.
Would you?
Oh, sure. What do you think I've been doing?
Ever woke up when it just can't get much better? sun on your face even when it's rainy weather. When nothing matters, just as long as we're together. You're the sun to me. You're the sun to me. I can't remember ever feeling like I'm feeling. In the clouds all day got me flying, got me reeling. And there ain't no way my heart can't be concealing. You're the sun to me. You're the sun to me. And I find just a little bit more and more each day. Another reason that'll settle in. I know I found my way. All I had to do was look far enough to see. You're the sun to me. I got my reasons, they won't need explaining. Why I smile all day, even though it's always raining. 'Cause you're the one thing that is constant and sustaining. You're the sun to me.
Video provided by VerdictProductions.com.